Hello.
Hello,
Oh, I still have
everybody.
the crown from last week 'cause I won last
Yes,
week's game.
you did. You did.
I did.
It's a sad day for me, but that's fine. No, I was
Yeah,
happy that
well,
you won. I was getting a little
thank
tired of
you.
winning all this. Oh, we are working on the audio because apparently we are both very, very loud. So
So
we
we'll turn this
apologize.
into an ASMR session
Right.
for the next
Yes.
30 seconds while our producer fixes things.
Hey,
What's up,
Wookie.
Wookie? Now we're both,
I'm
like,
trying to purposefully
trying to
be very
talk as if
quiet
there's a
so that I
baby
don't.
asleep. Yeah.
Right, yeah, yeah, totally. It's totally that, like, baby asleep kind of whispering.
Mhm. It really is. We're both just waiting for Dave to be like, "Alright, you're good now. You can stop
Right?
acting like lunatics." And he's
100%.
like, "Not yet." Oh, yeah. Fair, there is that.
So we'll just talk normal, and I'll play with the
I guess I'll have
bobblehead
to
of
talk
Jared's
normal.
version that I have.
Yeah, and
That
sorry if
doesn't
we're
really
blowing your
bobble.
eardrums out. Our bad, yo.
Perfect.
But
So how
perfect.
the hell
Fun.
are you, Wookie, and everybody else in chat? If you're here
Yeah.
and you're comfortable with it, say hello.
Hello,
Um,
hello. Hello.
yeah. Happy Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday.
I
This is
feel
true.
somewhat better. Hello from the other side. Um,
You feel somewhat better?
you better
That's
sing the
good.
song. and then I was like, "Don't sing on stream, that's a bad decision because people don't wanna hear that shit." Um, yeah, a little bit better, like, just, sometimes it's nice to be able to take my time, uh, to get ready for the show, which is why I think I'm gonna change my schedule to having Tuesdays off
Yeah.
instead of Fridays, but only having to work for an hour and a half this morning was really nice, so
Yeah.
I too wish I had a burger and fries. We need to stop bringing food up at the very beginning of our streams because
Well,
then my tummy gets angry.
yeah. I also don't eat much during the day because
I don't.
so with my specific type of ADD, I forget to eat and I forget to go to the bathroom
Oh,
until suddenly it's like you have a hunger headache, or your bladder's like, you need to go now, otherwise
yeah.
this won't be cute.
My sister has always been like that, and we've always called her a camel. Um,
Yeah.
but she has ADHD, and so if that's a thing with ADD and ADHD, that could be why. Like her wedding day, she did not use the bathroom for over 12 hours. And
Yeah.
then all of a
I
sudden, like
will
at midnight, she looked at my mom and I on the dance floor. She's like, I have to pee, and I don't know how to do that in my dress. My mom and I went
yeah.
with her into the bathroom. And then I ran into a wall and I had a big nasty bruise on my arm, which was awesome
It's
for a while.
always been a thing. When I was working in the office, like I would go the entire day without using the office bathroom.
See, and when
And
I was a
it's because I
scheduler,
forget. I
yeah,
legitimately forget. I'll be like, "Oh, man, I really have to pee. I should get up and do that." And I'll be like, "Let me just finish this email real
right,
quick." And I finish the email, and by the time I'm done with the email, because I told my brain, like, "Hold on, I'll take care of it in a second," it completely eradicates the, like, reminder, like, "Hey, you should go
right,
do that." And so then, like, it's on a timer, so it'll come back in, like, a couple hours, and if I don't take care of it right away, I forget
right,
about it again, and it's just a
right.
continual loop. It's
Yeah,
horrible,
it is.
but it's
When I
also
was a
great
scheduler, like
because I can hold it
I would
forever.
I had my Apple Watch on all the time, so that would tell me like if I sat for too long to get up and walk around, and then I
Yeah.
would usually go go pee because then I got to walk down the hallway and get away from my desk and the fluorescent lights and all of that. But if I like
Yeah,
worked from home and stuff, I bet you I would go my whole shift without doing anything. Um,
absolutely.
Peace snooze.
Absolutely not.
That would be amazing. I'm not even like an alarm clock that says you need to pee, and then like a hand hitting a snooze button shirt would be
That's hilarious.
phenomenal. Um,
But now I want
anything
burgers and fries, and I'm really devastated by that because I'm trying to be really good about, like, eating better and not eating out so much. For one, just because it was not healthy the amount I was eating fast food, and for two,
I'm in
my
that shape.
wallet was like, "I would really like it if you didn't do that as much."
I
So, like,
on
I
my way
want
home from
burgers and
work,
fries, but I can't get burgers and fries.
right? Yeah. On my way home, I stopped at Subway and spent my last $10 on food because I just started craving a Subway sandwich. But yeah, it's like I get
Yeah,
that or fast food on my way home. It's just so much easier. And then I can
it
eat while
is.
I'm driving, which is an awful habit. Don't do that, but I do it
I do it all
all
the
the
time.
time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I had anything super exciting happen this week. It was like
I'm trying to
my first
remember.
like easy weekend at home. You Dave? I'm looking at Dave's camera. You're dead. You're cross. Yeah, you're dead. You died. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Dave died
Okay.
apparently. Not
Fair
really,
enough.
but
We're playing charades here, on the Double D Estrogen Power Hour, and I'm just sitting there
which would
like,
actually be a fun game to play at some
"Moose."
point. Yeah, yeah.
It's so
Moose,
tough. Yeah.
moose
I
and
was like,
squirrel.
"What is he trying
Um,
to what is he saying?"
uh, no, I signed up for my fantasy hockey team for the first time in like 15 years, which is awesome.
Nice.
But I'm like, that will help me, I think, pay attention to other players and teams for
Yeah.
a super secret podcast that's coming, which I'm super
Which
excited.
we accidentally revealed the name of last week because
Hey, you know what
Chris
though?
wasn't quick enough to tell us that we couldn't do it, so we did it
He
anyway.
revealed that it was happening without telling us.
Fair,
We get to
fair.
reveal the name of it without telling him. That's fine,
Yep. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I've been telling clients and stuff about it too, and I'm like, couldn't believe that Pucked Up wasn't taken. Um,
Me either.
right? Like, it's such a great name for a hockey podcast, but I'm
I
super
know.
excited about it.
Me too.
Um, yeah, other than that, it's like same old, same old. It was my first weekend, like, at my
Yeah,
house, and I feel like forever. My
big
kid was
same.
a pain in the ass, but that's beside the point. Sorry, love you, Maddie, if you're in chat, but you were a pain in the ass this week or last
Yeah,
week. No, it that happens sometimes.
it
But
does.
what did you do? Anything fun, exciting?
So this was actually like one of my first weekends where I had nothing to do as well. So
Yeah,
I think I did almost next to nothing. I went and saw my parents for a little bit, so that my dad could look at my car because it was doing a weird thing again, and seems to be doing better now. So thank
good.
goodness for him doing that. And helped pack up a box to send to my cousin who had a baby several months ago, and we just didn't get around to finish making baby
Love
blankets
it.
until now. So it's like, a couple months
Was
late,
that
but
who you
the
were
kid's not gonna
doing
remember
tie
it
blankets
anyway.
for and stuff? Didn't you
Huh?
say you guys were doing tie blankets at one point a while ago? Am I lying? Am I making that up? I'm making it up. I must have dreamt it.
Um,
It was definitely you that I remember talking about it.
yeah, so we made a couple of things. We made a couple of blankets, which are really super adorable, and I'll have to get pictures of them. Actually,
Yes.
I have pictures of them. Um, and they don't have any revealing information on them, so I guess I'm okay to show them here. Let's
Okay,
see.
or just post them in the Discord if you wanna edit stuff
Yeah.
out of them or something.
So this is one of them, which I think is super cute.
Oh my god,
Um,
that's
and so it's like
adorable.
a plaid,
Yeah,
uh, I wanted to say felt, but that's not what I'm thinking.
like a
What's that?
flannel?
Yes, it's like a plaid flannel, and then that's just cotton, and it has like all these woodland creatures on it. It says "You're our
Yeah.
biggest adventure," and it's super cute.
Oh, I
And
love
then
that.
this one is the one that we have. You can't see them, but there's little ties because it's actually like a roll up
Oh,
baby
sure.
changing pad.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
waterproof on the inside, and it
I wish
says
I had
little
things
one,
like that
dream
when Matt was
big.
little.
And it's so cute. And then we have one
Mhm.
more because they live in a place that gets really cold. I can't remember which state it is. It's either Michigan or Minnesota, and I don't remember which one.
Fair enough.
So either one of those gets very cold.
Right, yeah.
Um,
I can vouch
so
for
we
Minnesota
have
at least.
another one that's like a very thick fleece,
Nice.
material, and
Yeah,
then it just has that same this is like a really nice velvety material as well. So we
cute.
made those
Love it.
3, and then we have plans to make some other stuff, but we just started with that.
I love it. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Yeah.
But we had finished all that weeks ago. Well, not
Yeah.
weeks ago. Well, maybe it was weeks ago. And so we finally just got around to boxing it up, and we wrote. They had asked when the baby shower happened, which we couldn't make it to because again they live in one of the M states, and we were not going to be able to travel there.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna forever refer to it as one of the M states, just super vague.
But you know it's
Um,
not like Massachusetts, which is the key.
I know it's not Massachusetts or Maryland, so those two are
Forgot
off the
about Maryland
list.
being a state too.
Well, I mean, originally they were. My cousin is from Maryland, but
Got
she
it.
no longer lives there.
Sure.
So one of the M states. But they asked for the baby shower. They're like, we want instead of gifts like traditional gifts, we want everyone to bring a book. Actually, maybe they did
Yeah.
also ask for traditional gifts, but they wanted everyone to bring a book and like write a
Nice.
little like message to the baby. But which
Yeah.
I always thought was silly because at the time they didn't know the gender and they hadn't revealed the name. And I was like, so am I just supposed to write it to like little baby
Maybe
whomever? Like that's not
that
as
was
cute.
before we knew what we were having when I was pregnant with Matt. I hated calling him an it, but at the beginning it's it, the baby,
Yeah.
whatever. And then we were at the science museum here and they had on display it was a cricket cast in amber. And those of you that don't know,
Oh.
my real name is Amber. And so we started calling him Cricket
Oh,
because
that's
to me it
cute.
made sense. But it's more
Yeah.
of a girly nickname in my opinion. I was also watching a show where one of the characters was named Cricket, so and it was a female, so that might be why that got stuck in my head. Um, but so
I
yeah,
love that
but
though.
for that few weeks from when we were at the museum to finding out that it was a boy, that he was a boy, yeah, we just referred to him as Cricket. So, but yeah, it's
Cute.
kind of hard, like,
Yeah, but they didn't
and
have anything like that. Like they
right,
just was the baby.
Well, and
So,
sometimes you don't wanna give the name away too early and, like,
right.
I mean, it was so funny because for me, if he had been a girl, I knew exactly what his name was gonna be. It was gonna be Madison Grace.
That's adorable. That's a good
Call her
name.
Maddie. Dave's making
Yeah.
faces at me. But for a boy, and this is just my personal this is how my brain works, we had narrowed it down to Matthew, Logan, or Eli.
Ooh, good
And
names.
Logan, A, because of Logan Huntsberger, if you know, you know, and B, because Wolverine's name is Logan. We would happen to be watching
Yeah.
X-Men,
I was gonna say
and
Wolverine
they were
for
calling
sure.
him Logan, and I was like 8 months
Right.
pregnant laying on the floor, and I was like, "I really like the name Logan." And my ex was like, "As long as I can call him Wolverine and we can teach him to go ka-ching, ka-ching with his hand." I was like,
That'd
"Done,
be
whatever,
adorable.
whatever makes you
Yeah.
happy." So I was really and Eli, got taken out, because my ex-brother and sister-in-law said that that was the only boy's name that they could agree on.
Mm,
And I have multiple
that's fun.
Elijahs in my family, so I was like, "Oh, I'm okay with foregoing
That's pretty, but a lot
this
of people
name."
would have an issue
Yeah, they would.
announcing it, pronouncing it.
I feel like I should know what that is from, but I don't know off the top of my head. But I see it and I think of Azazel from Supernatural, which is not
Yeah.
a good character. He's kind of a dick. So, uh oh, then maybe that is the same character's name. Maybe it's Azrael. Um, but it's a badass name and
It
the
is. It's
meaning behind it
dope,
is pretty
but
badass. But
yeah.
yeah, I think a lot of people would have trouble with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just had it in my head. I was like, if I with a boy, like I need to see him before I name him, you know.
Yeah.
And my mom liked Matthew, so she was referring to him as Matthew for a long time. And then because I had an emergency C-section and he got taken to the level 2 nursery and whatnot, I named him off of pictures
Oof,
on a digital camera that was, the screen was beep,
this
beep.
big. Yeah.
But
Wow.
it was pretty well at that point decided on Matt. So
Yeah.
that's where that name came.
So
But
my
yeah, I mean it's hard.
cousin picked a beautiful name. It's gorgeous, but low
Yeah.
key, me and my brothers are pissed as shit because she
It's
picked some of our grandparents' names. So like now we can't use them
yeah,
in the same way. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's kind of like, I love you, but like
But you're a
you done
dick.
fucked up,
Yeah.
AA Ron. I'm mad
Right?
at you.
Right.
I'm
That
mad at you for
was
stealing the good name. You know? Well,
um,
they're all good. I shouldn't say it like
right.
that, but
I
um, yeah.
I also liked the name. My mom's name is Catherine, and I had always said doing like I'd be okay with Catherine Grace or Grace
Mhm.
Catherine, but I would spell it differently than how my mom spells it. And I was like, I would do the
Yeah.
Kathryn.
Oh,
And my
cute.
sister was like there in that conversation. She's like, don't you dare. Timothy is a very good, strong name, except for I dated a
Mhm.
Timothy and he was a dick. Um, but that was long after. But Timothy is a great name. My if my sister was a boy, his name would have been Timothy David.
So, I don't know, I
Timothy
think
Rick Esteban. Yeah, I wouldn't name him Steven because that was his dad's name. My ex's name is Steven, but not spelled that way. Spelled the real way, if you ask him. Anyway. But yeah, Timothy was almost my sister's name. If I had been a boy, my mom was gonna name me Brandon. And
I
it's
don't think my parents ever picked out a boy's name for me because my
really
mom was always super confident that I was a girl because
yeah.
she wanted a girl so bad. She had a boy first, my older brother, and
Hmm.
then she was like, "I just want a girl so bad. I've always wanted a little girl. I want to play Barbies with her. I want to play with her hair." Like, um, a whole bunch of stuff. And so one of her good friends told her, like, well, you know, the secret to having a girl, right? You just have to think about the color pink your entire pregnancy. Think about nothing but pink and girly things, and you're going to have a girl. And so my mom did it because she's a psycho. And sure enough, I turned out to be a girl.
That's
And I hate
funny.
the color pink. It is my least favorite color.
That's
And I
funny.
always told her that she like poisoned me with it in the womb because it's all she thought about. And now I just want to escape it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So she was
I
like, "God damn it."
will buy myself pink stuff, but only because I convinced myself a long time ago that if I bought myself something that was pink, Matt wouldn't use it. And that worked up until I
Oh,
bought
from
myself
you.
a custom Xbox controller, and he broke
Yeah,
it. So that didn't work well for me anymore. So
no. Well, you live and you learn.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
should
what
ask
I
them
get
if
for
they
not buying
ever thought
anything.
about it, but I don't think they did. Um, I don't think they had a girl's name picked out or a boy's name picked out for me. They had 2 different girls' name. My dad wanted me to be named Alicia Caitlin,
Mm,
for the sole reason of being able to call me Alley Cat.
yeah,
And
I
my mom
remember
was
you
like, "That's
saying
a
that.
hard no. Absolutely not, because you're
I just
gonna."
think it's
I
adorable, but I'm okay with like
it
it not being a thing. But it's one
yeah,
of those where like, because I would have shortened it to Allie or Cat. Like,
Allie is cute, yeah,
yeah,
but the fact I mean, it would've been Caitlin would've been my middle name, so he would've been the
right.
only one to call me Alley Cat. Mom was like, "We're not picking names for our daughter based off of what stupid nickname you can call her. Absolutely not."
I
And he was like,
remember too.
"Fine."
We sat and we did the name game, trying to come up with like with every name option we liked. We were like, what's the meanest that people could call our kid if we named him this?
Yeah,
And the ones with Matt just weren't as awful as they could have
as bad,
been.
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Um, but yeah, it's funny. Like naming kids is a hard job. People still call me fat, but it's
I
okay.
mean,
'Cause I'm thick and I love it.
yeah, exactly. I'm
Actually,
also
it's
fat.
funny
Fat
that
is
you
not a
say
bad
that
thing, doesn't
because
mean we're not
Pretty
beautiful.
Maddie was about the worst that we could come up with. And Matt is such a beanpole that I don't have to worry about that being a
Yeah,
thing. At least not now. Like I'm sure he'll
right,
thicken up like his dad did, but
right.
um yeah, right now he's like a buck 40 and 5'5". So uh but yeah, I'm trying to think. The nickname I hated the most was Hamburglar. People called me Hamburglar in school. That was the
Um,
I
I
hated
don't
it.
really remember too many of the things that I got called. Um, because most of them, like, they couldn't make sense. So with my
Right.
name, like, they wanted to make jokes about how frizzy and curly my hair
Yeah.
is, and they just, like, couldn't come up with anything. So instead, they just made fun of me for having frizzy, curly hair.
Right. I
So, like, I didn't
remember.
get called any, like, names related to my name or, like I mean, I guess I got called Yoko Ono a couple of times because when I tried to straighten it because they made fun of it for
Oh,
being frizzy and curly, so I straightened it.
yeah.
But, like, straightening technology was not the same back in,
Yeah.
2000, so it was, like, poofy, so they all just called me Yoko Ono, and I was like, "Mm, okay." Like, I should be more mad at that than I am.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know if you remember the movie Curly Sue came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, after that came out, like, I loved the movie, right?
Right.
And I had semi curly hair, and I still do, but it's not quite as great. But,
Right.
after that movie came out, I told my mom I wanted my hair cut real short like hers was because I was convinced it would look like hers did.
Yeah.
Instead, it was an afro, basically.
Yep.
But everybody at school
Yeah.
still called me Curly Sue. And it was like I wanted that hairstyle, but yet I was still so offended, I think, because I hated my hair so much at
Yeah.
that time.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it was just super funny. I was like, oh, damn, okay. Yeah, no,
I
this
love
was
it.
like I'll have to see if I can find a picture somewhere because I
Mhm.
know my grandpa used to have one. I think they're downstairs. So I'll have to find one. Because it was like a full, like just round, like afro, like pat, like to my ears, like
Mhm.
it wasn't like just curly afro-y on top. Uh, I'm gonna shut my door,
Okay. Like Seth Rogen style before it was okay to have that hair.
right?
That's funny. I like
Uh,
that.
anything new, exciting? Well, you don't
Um,
have a school. Uh, just kidding.
Chris, I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not.
Um, I also did get called trailer trash. That was probably one of the meaner things that kids said to me.
Yeah, that's definitely. But at least that has nothing to do with your name. So it's not like your parents
Right.
cursed you. You know what I
Right.
mean? It was more to do with people just being assholes
Yeah. Pretty
and
much.
saying mean shit. So,
Right.
um, but no, nothing else in my life all that exciting at the moment. I mean, like I said, it was a pretty tame weekend. I do have a trip coming up soon.
Yes.
So I will have more exciting things in the next couple of weeks to talk about. But um, they haven't happened yet, so I have nothing.
What,
I got
Wookie?
nada.
What would it have been?
Yeah, I am curious, Wiki. What would your name have been?
Brandy Nicole.
Brandy Nicole.
See, and I like
Interesting.
so that was the other thing. So with my name having would have been Brandon, right? I've had
Mhm.
at least 3 separate people who do not know each other call me or refer to me as Brandy on accident.
Really?
And I'm like, that is so weird. Like I worked with a guy and it wasn't that he did like if he just saw me, he'd be like, "Hey Brandy." And he'd go, "I'm sorry, Amber." Like I don't know why I keep doing that. He's like, "You just look so much like a Brandy to me." And I was like, Okay." Like it never offended me, but it is a
That's
stripper
funny.
name. But I mean like I like spelling Nicole like that personally, but
So it's only a stripper name because it's Brandy with an I and Nicole with a K. If it was one or
mhm,
the other, you could get away with it, but both together, definite
that's true.
stripper name.
That's true.
Still cute,
Um,
like it sounds cute. It just stripper name for sure.
right,
Nothing wrong with that. But yeah.
100%.
Well, do
Uh,
we want to rock and roll into our first game of
yes.
the day?
So
Because we're going to do a short little game.
we do. Dave, our lovely producer,
Yes.
um,
I
who's
have a
may or
Mr.
microphone that
Behind the
is on
Scenes.
now.
you do. Are you still mad at
Yay.
me for how bad I beat up on you in the game last night?
Okay, so there were actually 2 activities today. So the first one is a short little
Right.
game I call Comic Books or Country Song.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the title of
Okay.
something. You have to tell me if it's a comic book or a country song.
All
Okay.
right.
You would think
Yeah.
this would be easy. It's not that easy.
I love it.
We'll see. Maybe I'm smarter than
I
your
mean,
average bear.
I'm just
Hey, boo
saying,
boo.
a lot of this stuff,
Hey, boo-boo.
they all sound like they could be country songs.
Okay.
By design.
Okay. Yeah.
I did this on
Okay.
purpose. And then a
Fair.
little later, I found some art on Pinterest of people touching up like old children's book covers. Not classics, but like the weird little one-off books that they do about
Sure.
you're getting a baby brother. Don't fuck it up. You know.
Yeah.
But they've been
Yeah.
touched up, and you guys are gonna react to some of those later.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Hello.
What up,
Welcome.
Philip?
How goes things? I like the name
Yeah.
Boo Boo.
I do like the name Boo-boo. I think it's cute.
What do I call? Oh, I call Matt Bubba all the time. That's what I call. I'm like, I
Um,
knew it started with B. Yeah.
I think that's adorable that it's after the bear, Wookie, because
Right.
I loved that show as a kid.
I did
hey,
too.
boo boo. How
I
about
did
a
My dad
too.
would
picnic
always
basket?
do that. He would always say that. Hey, yo, boo-boo. How about a
Hey,
picnic
Boo Boo.
basket?
Also,
You came
All the
out
time.
small and hairy like a Wookiee. Okay.
can we get Yogi into a speech class for his speech impediment?
No, because
No.
he wouldn't be the same Yogi.
Yeah.
Saying picnic always bothered
Picnic.
me. It's
No.
I
bothered
like
me
it
since
though. I think it's
childhood.
cute.
I
I
prefer
think
A
Boris and
picnic
Natasha
basket.
to Yogi.
that's fair, I guess.
Let moose and
Nah.
squirrel.
It's charming
It
No, it
the
is.
way
is.
he says picnic.
Yogi's great.
Picnic
All
basket.
right. So,
Okay.
All right, you ready?
so the name of the first thing, also,
Oh wait, how are we chiming in? Is it
Just guess.
I think yes, I think no? Like what's the
you
situation
guys are
for
both
answering
gonna,
these questions?
we're gonna do it like we did last week, where you're gonna pick one side or the other, and you're both gonna reveal your answers at the same time.
Okay, so we need paper.
Okay.
So
I
A
did
will
not
be
come
comic
prepared for this
book,
game.
B will be country song. Because comics are better than country music.
No, I don't dare argue with you. A, because I also agree with that statement, but B, because of people that are here.
A, because I'm agreeing with you. That's funny.
I'm gonna agree with that statement because I agree with it, but also,
Also because
look, I have to put it in a way that I remember which one's A and which one's B in my head.
that's
All right, so A is comic book, B is
Country
song.
music.
I'm just making like a little flip card
That's
situation.
totally fine.
That's what I'm gonna do too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does somebody in chat want to do the honors of keeping score? Also, every round, if you guess it correctly, you can get a bonus point by naming the artists involved, whether it's music artists or a writer and a like comic artist. Right. So like if it was Spider-Man,
So
you
I'll
would say
know the
Stan Lee
country
and Jack
artist.
Kirby. If it was Devil Went Down to Georgia, it would be
Charlie Daniels Band.
Thank you. I could not remember. The only thing in my head was Jack Daniels, and I knew that was close, but not right. All right,
And
Wookie,
Wookie
I will let you keep. I will let you keep track.
Okay. I volunteer as tribute. Love it. Great reference.
It is a great reference. All right.
Okay.
There's nothing
I've
quite
got my
like
little
having
card ready.
several hundred people
You have
yell that at
A.
you, by the way.
And B.
Nice. The first one, Pick Her Up. You see what I mean?
Okay. Now, again, are these comic books, children's books? Like what kind of books
These are titles of specific comic books. Sometimes
Okay.
it's the overarching title of the series. Sometimes it's the title of a particular issue. Because it's really hard to find comics that have anything to do with country music.
Yeah. All right, I've got mine.
Okay.
You ready?
Danger?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. It is, in fact, a country music song, Danger. Any guesses to the artists?
Brooks and Dunn. I don't know. You said artists and it threw me off.
I'm going to say artists for everything because I have to say it on the comic side.
That's
because
fair.
there's always a writer and a art.
That's fair. I don't know that one, actually.
Hot Country Nights featuring Travis Tritt. Yeah. I also dug a little deep on the country music side to find.
There you go.
I like it. Travis Tritt's great.
Some weird stuff, right?
All right, so Danger gets a point.
Number 2.
For just one.
Yeah, just 1 point. Number 2.
All of the points with you.
Six Gun Gorilla.
Okay, yeah.
So 6 gun like a revolver, 6 gun, not like Sex Pistols.
Secret Sex Pistols.
Secret Sex Pistols.
Yeah. All right, I have mine.
Do you have yours, Danger?
I am. Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. It is in fact a comic book. Do you know the publisher or the writer and artist? Either of you? I didn't either.
The
but
publisher?
This is one that I might pick up. But you can take a guess at the publisher.
I'm gonna say it's DC Comics.
It's published by Boom.
Nope. Okay,
there are
so
more than 2 comics manufacturers. There are about 8.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
But I'm gonna guess.
That's why I won't
the
know
ones
any
that
of them
I know the
because
most.
I know Marvel and DC, and that's about it.
But yeah, published by Boom Studios, written by Cy Spurrier with art from Jeff Stokely. 6 Gun Gorilla is about a giant talking gorilla who wears a poncho and runs around with 2 revolvers.
All right, I'm into it.
Awesome. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
If you want to know about the song, listen to the song on YouTube. But I will give like a little bit about what each comic is, because some of these are kind of fun.
Sure.
Cowboy Ninja Viking.
There,
Yeah, some
I
of these are real
mean,
hard.
no, in my mind, there's just no way that this is one of these options. Which is
Right?
why it's like, no, it's probably that option.
That's part of the reason why they're hard.
Ah,
Because you know I would
all
do
right.
stuff like that to you.
I know, because
Because
you're
I'm an evil
asshole.
bastard.
You're
Yeah,
I'm the
you're
villain.
dick.
Welcome to
You are
Human
the villain.
Resources.
Drama?
You are the villain of the LTN network for sure.
100%. Which is
Can I
also
get
why
name
you
in and
can't
chat?
be HR manager. So
Exactly.
Welcome to Human Resources. We handle sexual misconduct and villainy.
Welcome. You're like the Doofenshmirtz of HR, essentially.
Evil Incorporated.
Yeah. All right, I have my guess.
yes.
3,
I do too.
2, 1, go. It is in fact a comic.
Okay. No idea on the publisher.
That's totally fair. It's J.L. Lieberman and Riley Rossmo. It follows a cowboy, a ninja, and a Viking. The only thing is they're all the same guy. There's a Moon Knight situation going on here. They're all the same guy.
Gotcha. Okay.
But they don't know. He doesn't know that he's.
Don't know. Never read it. But I might, because Cowboy Ninja Viking sounds dope.
Yeah.
It
fair.
does kind of like those are
Throw a
three very
vampire in the mix and I'm
separate-
sold.
right.
Even if it's just him hunting a vampire.
Right? Just
Yeah, right?
One off.
Cowboy Ninja Viking
No, the
versus
vampire
Dracula.
is the woman he's in love with, but like he doesn't know.
Yes, I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
I'm into that.
Right?
When it rains, it pours.
Okay, I know this one.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Because it has to be what I have, not necessarily what immediately comes to your mind.
I'm sure. I know
Okay.
this.
3, 2, 1, go. And just a yes or no question. Do you guys know who it's by?
Well, I know.
Think so.
Okay, I'm gonna give a 3, 2, 1, and you're both gonna say the name. 3, 2, 1.
Alan.
Dirty Heads.
It's Luke Combs. You're both wrong.
It is Luke Combs. Damn, I knew that was a lyric in one of his songs, but I didn't know it was the title of one of his songs. Anyway.
There is a
I got a
comic.
point.
There is a comic story arc featuring Spider-Man that is colloquially referred to as "When It Rains, It Pours."
Yeah.
It's the one that ends with him making a deal with the devil to save Aunt May's life and erasing his entire history with Mary Jane.
Ooh.
Yeah, lots of readers
That's a
are
dark
real mad about
timeline.
that. But some people call that like the whole arc, because there are many mini arcs in it. But they call it "When It Rains, It Pours."
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's just progressively worse.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Back in black. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay.
All right, next one.
Way Too Pretty for Prison.
Heard.
Good luck.
Same. Right.
May the odds be
All right.
ever in your favor, but I really hope they don't, because it would be really cool to fire off a couple cannons.
I have my guess.
I do as well.
3, 2, 1. It is a country song. I'm not even going to give you guys the option. It's Miranda Lambert.
That's what I thought. It
I
was
was going to
either
say, if
her
you knew it
or
was a
Gretchen
country
Wilson.
song. But there is, I can't remember the actual name of it. There is a Harley Quinn arc with a very similar name.
Yeah.
And a lot of these sound like they could be comic book
Oh,
arcs.
absolutely.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And
For sure.
if Zac Brown Band came out with a song tomorrow that was titled Six Gun Gorilla,
I would
I'd
not
listen to it.
yeah, wouldn't faze me.
Yeah.
Like that could 100% be a country song.
Or Brett Paisley could probably write that song.
Yeah.
Or
He
Lil
writes a lot
Nas
of
X.
things. Huh?
Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X.
Yeah, I don't consider him a country artist, but he's
Oh no,
done
he
a lot.
100% is a country artist.
I know, but it's just I still don't consider him that way, but he is. Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
I love him. Anyway.
Okay. Next one.
Battle Pope.
Battle Pope? Like
Battle
going into-
Pope.
Okay. I've got my guess. I'm
I
going on
do as well.
instinct.
Although, yeah, it would
3,
be epic either way.
2,
It would be.
1,
Agreed.
go. It is, in fact, a comic by a writer and illustrator. I guarantee you've both heard of these guys.
The Coen brothers.
Neil Gaiman.
No, on both counts. Battle Pope by Robert Kirkman and illustrated by artist Tony Moore. The story reimagined the leader of the Catholic Church as a combat-ready, demon-fighting badass.
Oh my
Now
god!
that's a
Can I
Catholic
read
church
that,
I
please?
might join. Right?
Robert
Okay, I'm
Kirk
gonna
and
write
Tony
that down
Moore
because it
are
actually
also
sounds
the
epic
fellows
as fuck.
behind The Walking Dead.
Yes.
I
Okay.
never got into The Walking Dead.
Oh my god! I got into this show.
I
haven't
guarantee you've
finished
heard
it.
their names, though.
I
No.
haven't when you said them, but I don't remember. It's like remembering composers and
Yeah.
directors and producers. Like I don't remember a lot of that stuff either. Some
Hey,
directors.
as
I
long
could
as
not tell you who directed my
everybody
favorite movies.
remembers the lead producer LTN Media is me, we're fine. Because otherwise, you guys are going to have a hard time reporting to call times. Last one, ticks.
Okay. I'm ready.
Go. Yeah. Do you girls know who it is?
I do.
Brad Paisley.
It's Brad Paisley.
Okay. So you both get 2 points for that.
Which sucks because I said Brad Paisley earlier. And
Earlier, yeah.
you remembered it.
So
But
I
yeah,
don't know the
well,
final score.
but it-
Wookie does,
Well,
but I have a
haven't
feeling I know who
haven't
won.
been keeping track either. It's
Yeah.
close though, because you both missed some,
It's only by 1 point. Danger didn't miss any.
other than the ones you also
Danger
missed.
had a.
I
Huh?
missed the bonus points. I don't think I missed any answers.
She didn't. She only missed bonus points.
Right,
She
but
didn't
did
miss
you
a
get
single
bonus
answer.
point? She didn't.
No, we
No,
both
because
got
you were
bonus
also
points.
wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it
So
might
this
be a
is
So
tie.
I don't
fun.
know what
It
the
was a
final score is, but I
concept.
know that Danger won.
No, if we tied. That's good. Oh, okay.
No, you won because I got
Awesome.
one wrong. I got the very first one wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I got that all right, but I do listen to a lot of country music.
Yeah.
Um,
You had an unfair advantage.
I did.
but yeah, this was
Next
just a
week will
fun
have to
little
be
thing
like
I
emo
thought of.
song titles.
It would have been longer, but you guys have no idea how hard it is to find things that could reasonably be a country
Oh, I
song
know.
or a
Oh,
comic
yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And the only reason Battle Pope got an honorable mention because there was no fucking way either of you thought we're gonna think it was a country song. It's
Yeah,
just
but it's too
because-
epic not to.
I saw the name, I'm like, I have to include this. And then I saw who it was by, and I'm like, oh, this is what they did before The Walking Dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Unk Otron.
You know,
is the publisher.
G, I had a question about it. So I'm glad you
Nice.
confirmed that. Great to see you doing your boy's job for him. I
Love it.
appreciate that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
We love
and
that kind of love in this arena.
I also am in love with that emote.
I am too. That is
I-
wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Now, you
Yeah.
guys,
I
I
love
think,
all of them.
are going to do some other stuff, and then we'll come back for the second little
Yes.
mini activity later, which, again, is looking at children's books that have been...
Correct.
They're all so
Doctor.
freaking cute.
I know.
I've seen all of those emotes. They're so cute. Anyway, I like unicorns. What can I say?
I know. They're adorable. All right.
I seriously want to read this comic, though. Not gonna lie.
Battle Pope? Hell yeah.
Yes. Like that's
Hell yeah.
also supposedly out there, I think it's fan made, but it might not be. There's a supernatural graphic novel or comic book series or, something along those lines.
You know what I saw the other day that I think we might have to get
Hmm.
is a supernatural cookbook. And I think I might have to buy it and like cook something from it and then we'll showcase
Yes.
it on the show.
Always. Or you could do like TikToks or YouTube exclusive of you
I
cooking it,
could.
enjoying it.
I can
I
do it.
still want the Bobbies.
For the channel, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
Yes.
It's a write-off that way.
Yeah. Very true.
Gotta look for things that can be written off, right?
Right?
Um, perfect. So now we are going to go into some Am I the Asshole?
Wonderful.
Um,
Am I starting or are you starting? I don't remember.
I think I'm starting this week.
Perfect. Then I get to sit
Uh,
back, relax, and enjoy.
yes. So this one might be a little spicy.
Little
Um,
spicy.
a little spicy.
As Dave chokes in the background.
Yeah.
It's a little too spicy for him.
It might be a little too spicy. Stop touching your nipples. Okay. Um, yes, I said that aloud, knowing they can't see him. All right.
That's
Am
so
I the
funny.
asshole for being upset at my husband for what he got me for my birthday? My 39th birthday was last week. Months ago, I was talking with my mom about a part. Nice. And also, I'm jealous. I'm hungry because Dave mentioned burger and fries earlier. Anyway, uh, I was talking with my mom about a part of our state that I would love to visit, and she mentioned that she had never been there. You also want pizza? That's also not fair. I told her that we should go together sometimes, and we started planning it. We ended up deciding on going there for my birthday. During the planning, we realized that my mom, my brother, and I had never been on a trip together, just the three of us. So we invited my brother too. My husband was fully supportive of us taking this trip and would be staying home with our 3-year-old son and our dog. Before we left last
That's
week,
nice.
my husband gave me the gifts he bought me for my birthday. He got me some comfy pajamas, always a good choice, a sun
Yeah, I love
hat,
that.
and some good wine and cheese to bring with on the trip.
It's
Normally,
reasonable.
I would, right? Yeah, seems like a
Yeah.
good gift. Normally I would be totally okay with that gift as we don't really splurge on birthday gifts anymore. But he had been talking about getting me a smartwatch and new luggage for my trip ever since we started planning it. Fair. He knows I can be kind of picky about gifts, and I have exchanged some of the gifts he's gotten me in the past for different colors or options. But this time I told him just to pick something out for me, uh, as I want those things for the trip. He offered instead to go shopping with me so that I could pick out exactly what I want, because if I take them on the trip and I don't like them, it's not likely I could return or exchange them. Also fair. I thought that that was a good idea, but life got busy before I knew it. It was the week of our trip and we hadn't had a chance to actually go shopping together. So the time comes for us to leave, and part of me was expecting my husband to surprise me with the new watch or a weekend bag, but he didn't. I admit that I was pretty disappointed that he didn't take the initiative to just get me those things on his own. I tried it I tried not to let it bother me during the trip, but it was always kind of in the back of my mind. After we got back, I mentioned to him that I was disappointed he didn't get me a watch and a bag like he said he would. He told me that he thought we had agreed to do it together, but I told him he knew how busy we were and it wouldn't have been much effort for him to do these things on their own. He got offended and told me that I just spent thousands of dollars on a nice, relaxing trip with my family while he stayed home and took care of everything, and I'm complaining about a watch and a bag. I told him that he knew how much I was looking forward to having those items for my trip, and I'm just disappointed that he didn't realize that and take the opportunity to do something special for me. He apologized for, quote, ruining my trip, but I know it wasn't sincere, and he's just telling me what he thinks I want to hear. I offered to go shopping with him sometime to pick them out, and he told me to just go do it myself. Now I feel like crap, and I know he's mad at me for being ungrateful for the things he did get me and for allowing me the opportunity to have a trip like that with my family. Yeah, you're the asshole. Like,
100% you're the asshole.
100%. If you wanted him for your trip that badly and the two of you did not have an opportunity to go together, she should have gone and just said, "Hey, we are running out of time. I'm just going to go pick up these items."
Give me your credit card and then I can pretend
Yeah,
it's from you and I'll just pick out
right.
what I want.
Yeah. I mean, at the
Like,
beginning, I was a
totally an easy
little bit like
solution.
he could have gotten her a weekend bag or something on his own, but
But if she's like, "But I'm super picky and I return
yeah,
half the shit he buys me anyway," then it's like, no,
yeah,
why would he do that? Because then you can't return it and then you're just disappointed
yeah,
perpetually.
yeah. And I think this comment sums it up very well. We've gotten a ton of awards too, but it says you're an asshole because you set up a damned if you do and damned if you don't scenario for your husband.
Yeah.
The two of you agreed to go together and pick out exactly what you wanted. Life got in the way of that plan. Happens. If
Shit
he had done
happens.
it on his own, there was a high likelihood that you would have been upset and it wasn't exactly the color, size, kind you wanted, or that he had done it without you
Mhm.
despite your prior agreement. So the no win for your husband no matter what he did. So he chose
Yeah.
the better option of not wasting a lot of money on something you may not like, especially with a smartwatch. I totally get him.
Yeah. Well, because there's so many different like makes and models too of smartwatches that like if you don't get
Yeah,
the
it's like
exact
so
right one, like you're never going to be happy with it. And well, the smartwatch she could have absolutely held off on returning or whatever, like just
right.
not worn it on the
Yeah,
trip or
if it
whatever. She
wasn't
still would have been miffed anyway, like to start the whole thing off. So I called it though because at the start of this, so before we went live, just so that the chat is caught up, before we went live, Amber and I had been talking about some of the titles, and I was like, "Oh, that one, I'm just gut reaction. She's the asshole. I don't know why, but that's just why I feel like it."
right.
And Dave was like, "Well, no, like it could be a situation where you know, he did something really effed up, and that would have, you know what I mean?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I just have a feeling it's one of those things where it's like, I told him I wanted the Dior bag, and he got me Versace instead. I can't believe this." And that's basically what happened because she was like, "I wanted, I usually don't like it because he picks out the wrong color of shit anyway." So I
Yeah.
just want to say I was right.
Yeah. 100%. And sorry, I had to laugh because Dave was like, I just went, who
Dave's
the fuck
chats, I
is Amber
know.
in my because he literally like he has called me. We've been together almost a year now. He's called me Amber exactly one time in our relationship. He always calls me Danger.
It's so
Um,
funny.
this comment is kind of perfect as well. And it says, Opie, how often is your husband walking on eggshells trying to meet your standards? He sounds exhausted and like he's already used to these no win scenarios. Please check your behavior before you fall into a pattern of emotional abuse. And then down below it says, she's clearly already emotionally abusive to him. Granted, this maybe only is a gift giving issue and not typical, in which case I apologize for reading into it. But the fact that you admit he got you appropriate and thoughtful presents and still went after because you didn't get exactly one thing is not great.
Yeah.
Somebody else goes, he sounds exhausted. I'm exhausted just reading about OP.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
when she was reading out the gifts, I was like, okay, pajamas, that's cute. That's
Yeah.
something,
It's
you know what I
comfy,
mean?
nice.
Something wonderful. The
Yeah.
cheese and wine for the purpose of like enjoying
Yeah.
it with your family, I think is
Oh
lovely. And I
yeah.
forgot what the third
A
gift was,
sun
but I was
hat
like,
when you're out on a trip is nice,
oh, there
you
you
know.
go. Yeah. I love a
Like
brand new sun hat
and that
for
still
like a
would
special
leave
occasion.
money. I'm assuming that then still left
Right.
money to spend on these gifts that she
Mm-hmm.
wanted. Like I never in my life thought I'd want a smartwatch until I got one as a gift, and I wear it
Yeah.
almost every day
Yeah.
unless I
Same.
forget it on the charger. Um,
Yeah.
but
Well, we're
and
human. Yeah.
right, and even at work, like I have to take it off and put it in my well, but you don't leave your house. Uh,
So there's that.
but I like take it off and put it in my pocket at work because I can't have anything on my. I'm a massage therapist for those of you that don't know, so I can't
Yeah.
have anything on my wrists. But yeah, so definitely the asshole. You did leave
Agreed.
today. You did have to go into the outside today, and I'm proud of you for that. But
All right. So
anyway,
mine is I'm gonna do my longer one first, just because
sure.
I think it makes more sense. So um, there are edits to this one as well. So I'm just gonna start with the title, which is "Am I the asshole for taking my wife's side after she screamed and cursed at my mother?" I, 33 male, am married to my wonderful wife, Melody, 29 female, and she is currently pregnant with our first child together. I have a 6-year-old daughter, Tina, whose mother and I split 50-50 custody, so I know for the most part what Melody needs in order to feel supported while she carries our child. I've been spending lots of time making sure she's comfortable and taking on more of the load at home so she's not doing too much. This is her first child after all, and it's obviously a lot for her physically and emotionally. My mother and Melody don't get along well. Mom didn't like my ex either. We broke up because we were headed on different paths in life and not because my mother, and there is no bad blood between us. So I think she just doesn't like her because that's like in a parenthetical statement.
Sure.
So then it goes back to I think she just doesn't like her because she's dating me for whatever reason. It's just weird. She's very nitpicky about Melody, about how much she does around the house, about how emotional she is, which Melody already cried very easily to begin with, and being pregnant has made her even more sensitive, which I think is fine. The fact that she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, it just seems like nothing Melody does is ever okay. How I do, however, stand up for her and do not just allow my mom to talk down to her. Today, before picking up my daughter from summer camp, Melody went to 3 different grocery stores to find rotisserie chicken. She's been talking about it since last night and really wanted one. She sent me pictures documenting her quest to find the chicken, and she finally found it. My girl was happy, like in all caps.
That's adorable.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He says rotisserie chicken is also kind of a comfort food for her, like spaghetti is for a lot of people, because her mom used to get one of those when she was having a lazy day and didn't feel like cooking. So she was planning on serving that with some other basic sides for dinner, which was perfectly fine by me. My mother came to see Tina and started telling Melody that chicken is bad for her and that she should not be eating that while pregnant. Melody said it's fine. She usually eats healthy and just wants this one thing that she's craving. My mom went on and on about how unhealthy it was and said she needs to eat something else. Melody said no and then went into the backyard to FaceTime her family who lives out of state. When she came back, my mom had thrown the food out and ordered takeout.
What
A
a bitch.
salad for Melody
What a
and pizza
bitch.
for everyone else.
What a bitch.
Right?
I'm sorry.
So
I'm not even pregnant and do not fuck with my food.
do not fuck with my food.
Especially
Right?
if I'm craving something. Murder the mom is right. Not that
Yep.
we murder here at LTN Media, but murder
Occasionally.
the mom.
Murder the mom, for sure. So it continues. Melody asked where the chicken was. My mother told her that she needs to start being a responsible mother and eat correctly for the baby. Melody screamed, "What the actual fuck is wrong with you? Why are you always such a bitch to me?"
Yes.
Fucking fair. I would have said worse.
Yes.
Again, there would have been blood on that kitchen floor. For sure. No doubt. She then started crying and called me to come home. I came back and asked my mother to leave after hearing her story and said she is not to come back until she apologizes for how she treated Melody. My mom went on about how I'm choosing another woman over her, but I just think enough is enough. And right?
Jesus.
And Melody had reached her limit. She apologized for me. Melody apologized to me for blowing up when Tina was in the house, and I told her it's okay. Things happen. Tina's okay, and I went off to the grocery store to find another chicken before the stores closed, which is very sweet. My dad thinks I'm right for right.
Partner, I should say. I guess I don't know, but it's not.
My dad thinks I'm right for taking Melody's side, but my brother thinks I should always defend mom. So am I the asshole? So then there's quite a few edits. So I'm going to read those.
Okay.
Edit. Okay, not to be that guy, but I did not expect this to get so much attention. I woke up to so many notifications. I'm trying to go through as many as I can, but wow, thank you guys for all the support and awards. Melody loves all the kind messages from you all, especially the mamas and soon-to-be mamas who get it, as she put it. 1, my mom claimed it was the seasonings and the fat and the grease that made the chicken bad for her. It's all BS, but that's what she's saying. 2, I do plan on having a sit down with both of my parents and my brother, along with my mom. A lot have mentioned that there's some sort of like emotional situation here. They used a word that we're not going to use on this channel, but it is like a very common thought for when mothers have inappropriate emotional attachments to their kids, not because there's anything sexual happening there, but just because they're putting a lot of like undue emotional burden on their kids. And a lot of other things along that lines that need to be addressed. So I'll talk to my dad first and then have a family meeting. A lot of you asked why I would still want my mom around, and honestly, maybe I'm just weak, but that's my mother. However, if she cannot learn to change and respect my family, then we will just have to go no contact. It's hard, but it is what it is. Melody doesn't even want to completely cut her out. She just wants change as well, but I'll protect Melody at all costs. If that means cutting off my mom, then so be it.
Oh.
Number 3, my ex and I did not break up because of my mother. We had different ideas of where our lives are going. Tina was not planned, and we are already heading towards going our separate ways before she got pregnant. We try to make it work for Tina, but that's not what relationships are about, so we split and it's working great. My ex and Melody get along great. Tina is happy and we work through things as one big blended family. My ex and Melody have talked about my mom with each other before, and that's when I realized I needed to see a therapist to work through my childhood with a mom like mine. It's a process. I'm working through it the best I can.
Yeah.
Some people asked about our culture. We are Black Americans, so I think it's more of a mom-son thing than a cultural thing. 5, not sure how to update. Someone please comment and let me know, but I'll update after I speak to my dad and have a family meeting. Lots of you recommended Just Know MIL and Raised by Narcissists. I think those are Reddit pages, and I'll definitely check them out. Lastly, Melody's pregnancy is going smoothly for the most part, just exhausting and emotional, as she put it. Also, we're having a girl, and we had our gender reveal last week, for those who are wondering. Thank you for all the well wishes, #GirlDad. And then the last edit is just Just to reassure everyone, I did find her another chicken yesterday night after the whole fiasco. Thanks to everyone who commented and recommended we get a Costco card. That way she doesn't have to go on another chicken quest.
Oh,
Right?
what a sweet man, by the way.
Right?
I assume, again, if I'm misgendering, I apologize. But what
No, it
a
is a man. Yeah.
sweet. Okay. Um, that's cute. That's
That-
really cute, but also awful. And no, you're not the asshole for cussing your mom out. I think it's
No.
fair. We all would have said worse things. I
Hell
would
yeah.
call up your mother and say worse things to her now, and I don't know the woman. So,
Right?
um,
First of all, throwing out food that somebody else bought
period.
is so disrespectful, regardless of like anything aside from it. If I
And
go
then
over to
telling
somebody's
them
house and
that,
just go, "Mm-mm, no, thank you," and put it in the trash, no,
and not
no.
even that, like, it doesn't even sound like the mother was there to have dinner with them or anything. It sounded like she just stopped by.
Yeah, she stopped by unannounced and then made judgments about the food that was being made for a
Right.
visit that she was not. I'm sure it's like when she showed up, they were like, "Yeah, you can stay for dinner. We have plenty," kind of a situation.
Now,
And then she made the, bullshit accusation she made about
right.
rotisserie chicken
Yeah.
not being good
Like,
for
big
you.
fucking deal at that point. But
It's better for you than like a McDonald's chicken sandwich or
yeah,
Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich
right.
because it's not cooked in oil. For the most part, rotisserie
Right.
chickens in like supermarkets and stuff are basically done in the equivalent of an air fryer.
Right. The downside of them is that sometimes they're a bit too dry. Like, that's
Right.
honestly, but what a bitch.
Yeah.
Next time she should just call and make mom make them fried
But
chicken.
then like not even like it's insulting enough that she threw away perfectly good chicken, but then to order pizza for everybody else and then get salad for the pregnant person is so horrible.
Yeah.
Like so
Well, and
horrible.
then to imply that she's not being a good mom and not taking care of the
Right.
baby, I mean, that's, and not even just implying, to say it outright. You need to eat better and be a better mother to your child. Fuck you.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
guess what? My baby ate dirt sometimes. Does that make me a horrible parent? Probably. But that's beside the point.
You're like, yeah, I mean, chances are
I mean, there's
probably
other
did.
reasons why I'm probably a horrible parent too. But you know what? I've kept my kid alive for 13 years and I'm proud of that fact. So,
Yeah, as you should
uh,
be.
but yeah, what a dick.
Right? I read that
Oh,
and I
that
was like,
makes
I
me
have to
angry.
share this because like I would have been heated. I would have said way more than why the fuck did you do that? You're always such a bitch to me and I don't know why. Like
Ha.
I would have gone on for miles and miles and I wouldn't even have apologized for saying all that shit in front of a 6-year-old
No,
because the 6-year-old needs to learn too. That shit ain't cool. Ain't no way you're gonna come into my house and throw away my food
that I just bought
that
that
I
I've been
just
craving
bought.
all day.
Right. Uh-uh. And then order me a fucking salad.
Not even remotely the same thing.
No. Yeah. She would have been, as Dave put it, she would have been deaded for sure.
She would have been dead. Thank
Yeah.
you, Wookie. You're too sweet.
Oh, thanks, Wookie. That's very nice of you.
You know
We
how to make
appreciate
us
that.
feel lovely.
I am wearing false eyelashes today, so like
Same though.
I put in extra effort. Yeah.
That's awesome. As you should.
Yeah.
Don't ever kick my mother out of your house, though. But my mom's awesome and like,
Yeah, but your mom wouldn't cross that line, I don't think.
no,
That
God no.
uh you're also wearing eyelashes.
But
Good to
not
know,
false
Dave.
ones. Notice he didn't
Just the
say
real
false ones.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's wearing his natural ones. Yeah,
They are mine.
I knew that. Wear
I
that
am also wearing my own natural lashes. They're just,
Yes,
beneath
I
the like pound of fluff we got going.
right. You do have good eyelashes, you fucking weirdo, and how bad. Um, yeah, that's just too much. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this one sounds like it'll be interesting as well. So, am I the
Okay.
asshole for reporting my colleague to HR? Background.
Oh, I wanted to read this one. I'm so glad you picked it.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
This is one of the other. So I had a bunch from like last week that we didn't get to that I just kept up. And then we were talking about them earlier and I started flipping through just for the fun of it. And I was like, ooh, these are good ones.
Yeah.
I picked a couple new ones. Okay, 26 female, just started my first job after finishing my master's. La-di-da. And I work in a department with another colleague, 27 female, Thea, who joined the company 2 months before me. She is currently in graduate school, and I'm amazed how she is very efficient and fast in her tasks. Good for you that you're amazed by that. Anyway, I'm already going to be bitchy about this chick. Anyway, I noticed that Thea is always assigned complicated tasks despite being new to the company, and I wanted to join the products that she's in so I can learn from her. Initially, Thea was fine with it, and I learned that she is someone who will implement very strict timelines in order to get things done. I had trouble keeping up because I wasn't used to having such deadlines, but she would just tell me to be
Mm-hmm.
faster next time and move on. Recently, she put up a huge whiteboard at her desk, which detailed all of her meetings and tasks for the month. I was very impressed with the setup, and I asked her what the tasks on her board meant. She became very irritated when I asked if there was room for one more teammate. She finally snapped and said, "Not everything with my name on it needs you involved."
Okay.
I was surprised at her hostility, but just thought she was having a bad day, but whatever since then. But ever since then, she's been very distant, and I just get generally difficult to work with. She wouldn't be as helpful as before when it came to retrieving documents that I need, implementing tougher deadlines, and would just avoid me by going home earlier. Oh, implemented tougher deadlines. Uh, I felt that she was creating an overly hostile work environment that was affecting my productivity, and felt like the right thing to do was to report her to HR. I did so, collecting some evidence, and HR said that they would talk to her. Well, the talk didn't seem to go well because now our boss has told me to just stay out of her way and remove me from all of the projects that involve her. Thea has even been moved to another section in the office closer to our seniors, who I've heard been trying to placate her to stop her from leaving. I'm conflicted as I don't want to ruin my workplace relationships, but it was very difficult to work with her, and I did what I thought was the right thing to advocate for myself. Am I the asshole? Edit. Okay, so I posted this um on the way to work, and I didn't know my story would be so riveting to all of you. I see that there is an overwhelming vote of you're the asshole, which I didn't expect, and I can't reply to every comment, but I'll address some below. Uh there's a lot of assumptions that Thea is a person of color and I'm being racist because I'm white, but I'm not. Why? Because we're both Indians. Nowhere in there did I get racism out of that, but okay. Um,
No.
but
But I
then she
mean, I
had
can
such
see that maybe a commenter did because that is Reddit
it's a
comments. That
common
shit
thing
happens.
in workplaces, right?
Right.
Um, why did I mention her still in graduate school? Because she's doing her uh I think that's supposed to be a PhD. So I'm impressed at her ability to manage postgrad and her job. I couldn't manage it in my master's, so I just wanted to know how she did hers. No, she's not my senior. We both have the same title, but are different levels as per the norm in our country. This is also her first job, as before she was doing other stuff. The evidence I presented to HR included how she gave me earlier deadlines than the rest of the team, which she claimed was because I was slow. So even if I was late on my deadline, I was still on time with everyone else. Sounds like it was a justifiable thing because she said before
Yeah.
she couldn't make deadlines. How she would keep telling me to go find documents I'm looking for in the folders that she already had prepared, even though she doesn't tell me exactly where I can find it. And how she would send me a lot of condescending texts about not being late with the submission of work. Sounds like you were late on your submission of work a lot. Uh,
Yeah.
why didn't I follow the hierarchy in reporting? Our seniors didn't find any issue with her methods, which she was open about. And our manager was more concerned about meeting deadlines and not angering our main business partner, which she is the main person handling it. I'm not trying to ride her coattails. I was asking about the tasks she had listed because they sounded interesting, and I was curious to know why I hadn't been included. Because you don't have to fucking be included. Sorry.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
don't need to be on everything. Now, like,
exactly.
if it were a situation where you were like, whoa, I'm super impressed by this, and it might all be
Yeah,
in presentation, but it sounds like she was like, I'm super impressed by this board you put together. Can we work in myself on this? No, 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 no. This is
Right.
me and my
So,
like
like, yeah, if it's,
efficiencies.
"Hey, I wanna know how you put this together because 'cause I'd love to put one together for myself because that might help me
Right.
with my task management and all of that." Um, that would be totally different, but
Exactly.
yeah, what a bitch.
Yeah. For
Uh,
sure. She's the asshole here.
100%. Um, 100%.
Yeah.
And the whole I noticed that she's always assigned complicated tasks despite being new to the company. Bitch, you're newer to the company than she is. And she
Well, and also like
obviously has proven herself to be able to handle all of this
exactly.
stuff. And then you ask to
Yeah.
join them. She don't need you. Do your
No.
own fucking job.
And why does that matter to you? Like it honestly the whole thing reads as envy. Like I'm jealous that she's in, getting her PhD and still maintaining a job. I wasn't able to do that. I'm jealous that she gets more intricate tasks. I'm not getting those. She has deadlines that seem to be easier for her, whereas mine get pushed up. And it's like, well, yours get pushed up because you can't turn everything in on time.
Right.
So in order to make sure that stuff is getting in at a time that
Right.
like
She
by the
wants to
time the
make
rest of
sure.
the team needs
Yeah.
it, she pushes the deadline up, which do I think is the best managerial tactic? No.
No.
There's definitely time and place for it, but like
Yeah.
you still can't be mad at it when you're the one that's falling down on the job. As for like the whole she tells me to put it like to look for the documents in the folder that she's assembled. Like,
Right.
yeah, would it be helpful if she gave you the exact location? Yes, but also if you have documents that are like if it's already well organized, which it sounds like the Thea, I think was her name.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds like she's organized everything else really well, so I can't imagine that the folders are all hodgepodge messy.
Right.
You
Well,
know what I
and
mean? So it's probably easy to find. You just don't
being
want
able
to do
to
it.
find them yourself is part of your job, clearly.
Yeah.
So do your job and learn how to do it. She's probably not telling you where they are so that you actually learn how to do your job hopefully more efficiently. Like I get being
Yeah.
slower when you're new to a company and stuff. I was that way, when I changed careers. Um, it took me a little while to catch on and time management was sometimes a thing. And so I get that aspect of it, but I didn't go to join projects that people already were handling.
Right.
I might say, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Or help, with the board. Say, "Hey, this is a
Right.
great idea. This is going to help me too. Can you tell me how you set it up or what everything means so that I can implement one for myself?" It's different. Oh, damn. Anyway, I just dropped something that spilled all over the floor.
Oh, no,
Uh,
no.
but yeah,
Hate that.
definitely she's the asshole.
She's the asshole, for sure.
All
For
right,
sure.
what's your next one?
All right. My next one is am I the asshole for making, and it's in quotation marks, making my boyfriend eat fast food for a week?
Yeah.
My boyfriend, so this one doesn't give any sort of information about ages or genders. I'm
Okay.
assuming that it's the OP is a girl and the boyfriend is referred to as a boy. So I'm again assuming obviously it's a male.
Right.
Um, but again, I don't know, and I don't know the ages, so
Okay.
we'll just go from there. So my boyfriend grew up in a house that valued outdated gender norms. The women were always responsible for cooking and cleaning, so he didn't learn how to do any of that for most of his life. That is until he moved in with me after college. He's been good about a few things. He doesn't mind helping with dishes or handling laundry, but the one thing I can't seem to get him to do is learn how to cook. The only thing he can do is microwave frozen meals. I've been trying to teach him the basics, but it seems like it goes through one ear and just comes right out the other. He still can't turn on the oven or use the stove without help. The toaster is too complicated for him to use, he claims. Doesn't know how to boil eggs, cook rice, or even measure out ingredients using cups. I just don't understand why he can't grasp this, but is fine with other things. So here's the part where I may be an asshole. I went on a trip 2 weeks ago for work. I'm in charge of buying groceries because we have separate accounts, and I realized how expensive his frozen meals actually are. $3 to $4 for each one. And I said, screw it. And I bought him the easiest ingredients I could find for a lot cheaper for him to cook on his own. He doesn't like leftovers, so me cooking ahead for him was out as an option. Before I left, I sat him down and once again gave him a very long lesson on using the oven, the toaster, and the stove, as well as how to boil and scramble eggs, toast a piece of toast, boil rice and noodles, and heat up pasta sauce. I also taught him how to pan fry things like onions and other vegetables, and told and how to tell when they were ready. In case he didn't want to cook both lunch and dinner, I also bought things to make salads and fixings for sandwiches. I came back a week later and he is angry. He claims I practically left him to starve and how I know he has trouble cooking. I retaliated by saying I showed him what to do, and I got a whole range of excuses. That setting the oven stove temp is too complicated, that he cut his finger chopping onions and couldn't chop anymore until his cut healed, and that he only likes salad kits because everything is so well balanced. Apparently, he only eats sandwiches, canned goods, and fast food for a week. He thinks I'm a major asshole for not telling him I'm not buying his frozen meals and then leaving him alone to fend for himself. On one hand, I do think it was shitty for me not to tell him I didn't buy his meals, and as someone who grew up in a home pretty much only on boiled hot dogs and veggies and only properly learned how to cook after moving out, I do feel for him, but at the same time, after a few months of not getting the simplest concepts, I'm left feeling partially justified in my actions. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
Uh, I have a hard time calling OP the asshole because of the fact that what fucking grown ass man, like Dave said, what grown ass man can't at least
I'm
toast
sorry.
bread? Like,
If for him to say the toaster is too complicated, this is a man with a college degree based off of the information we do have, that they both went to
sure.
college together and moved in
And
together.
okay, some ovens are very
That's
hard, but you
ridiculous.
could like microwaving something, putting something in a toaster, like fucking Google exists for a reason, right? Like,
No one doesn't know how to use a toaster. You put it in, and granted, some toasters are harder than others because
right,
like the dial is, minutes and not whatever, not toastedness. So
true.
100% there is a learning curve with specific toasters. No, she meant like an actual toaster. Like you
Yeah,
put the bread in and you go cha-ching and it goes
yeah.
cha-ching when it pops up.
Opts out and scares the
Like,
shit out of you. Yeah. But
yeah,
yeah, like
someone can't
Google it.
figure that out. They're purposefully being dense.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, boiling eggs also super easy. You
Right.
put it in like hot water and you
Boil
set a
right.
timer.
Right. Or like making mac and cheese is not hard.
No.
Boiling
He can't
eggs,
use measuring cups. Like, I could
yeah,
understand if there was a
measuring stuff is
physical
kind of just
reason why he
ridiculous.
couldn't do that. I would totally get it.
You're right.
Um, but my thing is, Dave, I can see how you're like she was being passive aggressive because she didn't
Yeah.
buy the stuff before leaving. At the same time,
Well, or just by not like I mean, she still tried to teach him how to do things, but she didn't
right.
tell him she wasn't buying him frozen meals from what it sounded like.
So it wasn't about buying stuff. Okay, so I'm curious as
Yeah,
to why you think it's passive aggressive. Because that's the only thing I thought was like it's kind of dickish to not tell him that you bought that because
right.
he was probably listening to her explain how to do
Yeah,
all this shit while thinking I've got my hot pockets in the frickin' freezer. I'll be
right,
a-okay. Which again is more of like a dick move on his part. Like if someone's genuinely trying to teach you how to cook and like look after yourself,
right,
like you should be maybe listening to them and taking advantage of that knowledge that they're giving you.
right,
Especially
right,
if this is something that she has to do often for work, is to go out of town or is it going to be a regular occurrence,
right.
then he needs to learn how to get along for a week by himself.
Well, and she
Like
bought
that's
him a lot of
ridiculous.
different options, the salad stuff if he didn't want to make a meal or, stuff for sandwiches, whatever,
Yeah.
uh, just because it wasn't what he wanted. Also, did they say why he couldn't go buy himself frozen meals?
No.
I mean, clearly he went out, like, he went and bought fast food. Why couldn't he go to the store and buy himself frozen meals if that's what he wanted?
Yeah.
Like, come on, really? I
Right.
mean, it's just one of those where
Yeah.
makes my head hurt.
Me too. I think that for sure OP is not the asshole. Maybe was she dickish in how she went about it? Could
Yeah,
be. There's argument for that.
yeah,
But he is for sure the asshole. For
100%.
making her feel bad that he was left to his own devices when he's a grown ass man who was given instructions not just when she left, but for months prior to this trip. Like, she's
Right.
been trying to teach him for a while, and he just refuses to learn. I'm
Right.
sorry, but no stovetop is that complicated. I can
Right.
understand some ovens, you have to press a lot of buttons to get the temp
Yeah.
set, all that kind of stuff. But, like, even then, if you, like, write it down, I'm sure you can figure it out. Or like
Right.
you said, Google is free.
Yeah.
YouTube exists.
I literally own a cookbook. When I first moved out, somebody bought it for me. And it's one of my favorites, but it's called How to Boil Water. One of my
Mm,
favorite cookbooks because it has very simple. I mean, there's a couple recipes that are very like in depth, but they're easy. But it literally
right.
like the first like quarter of it is all cooking temps and how to do things and measuring charts and comparisons and all of or conversions, all of that kind of stuff. And it's
Yeah,
awesome, especially as somebody that, like is moving out for the first time on your own.
yeah,
Um, plus it's a week. Like if I had to eat fast
right.
food and cereal and, sandwiches, whatever, for a week, fine.
So I get that the tone may seem
Yeah.
condescending, but,
And
like,
yeah, I mean, I do get that you're, um,
yeah. But I mean, with every story, without the other person's side, we don't know how she
right.
actually handled it. So I think that that point is a little bit moot because
Right,
whatever.
but
I
I
mean,
I mean, we play it
ultimately,
we role play it out for both sides all the time too, so I get
yeah.
that.
Ultimately, though, either way, if he's actually pissed about her leaving him alone for a week with no frozen meals because it meant he had to cook for himself, I'm sorry, he's a baby back bitch. Like, you got to get over it. You got to learn to
Baby
like
back
make.
bitch.
Yeah, we say that all the time in my household. Like, we that's
Baby
what we
back
call each other a
bitch.
lot when we're being little babies about stuff. You're just a baby back
Love
bitch.
it.
But that's what he's
Love it.
being. Like, grow up.
100%.
Spaghetti is not that hard, especially if you already have like jarred pasta sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
Boil, strain, dump the shit in, let it sit on the stove for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I get that. I don't see as much of the, like, condescending, um, tone
It
in there.
also,
I mean, I
Dave,
think she's
could be
very
how I read it.
frustrated with how
I
he
also I
reacts.
definitely wanna say it could be how I read it because I read this before coming on, and so I was emphasizing certain things because it was
Sure.
pissing me off to think,
Sure.
like, this
Yeah,
man can't even use a fucking toaster, you know what I mean?
right.
So, that could also play a part in it as
Yeah,
well. Um, my dramatic recitation, if you will.
right.
So,
Um, but yeah, I mean, like, my sister's husband is not good in the kitchen whatsoever. Um, and so she is learning. She even called my mom and was like, "Thank you for doing all that meal prep and cooking dinner all the time." Because now that they are married and live together, they're both out of the parents' homes for the first time at
yeah.
26. Which is awesome. I moved out at 18. I was out of that bitch, but like my life would have been so different if I had stayed home. Um,
It was the words
but that
themselves, the
might
oven's
also
too
be his
complicated.
words. He might. I mean, I can understand like Steven. So my brother-in-law very easily could say, "I'm not going to make like lasagna because it's too hard to figure out what buttons to push, and I'm just too lazy. I don't want to figure it out."
Yeah,
I could honestly see him saying that, but never would he say to my sister, "You bought me the wrong things, and I couldn't make it because it was too difficult, and I didn't know how to do it." If it's him going, I'm just I don't want to figure that out today. Fine,
yeah.
Um,
So the words themselves, the oven's too complicated, I actually have heard people say before.
yeah,
Actually, and it wasn't a dude, it was a girl. She was
yeah,
like, "I just don't cook anything ever because I don't understand how to work the oven and I don't care to.
yeah.
So why
I
would
just
I
don't
do
want to
stuff that
figure
I
it
don't
out.
want to do?" So that's why to me it's like this is totally reasonable because I've legit had someone say that to
Yeah,
me in
absolutely.
real life and I was stunned
I've
because I was like,
felt
first
that
of
way,
all,
like even just going like with the bachelorette party, the oven and the stove, like were totally different than what I have at home. It took me a minute
right.
to figure it. Like I figured it out, but I also wanted to, and I had bought stuff to cook
Yeah.
and those things, so I had to an extent. But yeah, it's
But
just
there are days where the oven is too complicated for me, someone who
right,
uses the oven all the time, and I
right,
just don't wanna do it.
right,
So, like, that's
absolutely,
a totally fair concept to me.
absolutely. There are
And
days,
if that's what he felt, then that's fine, but if he never cooks any meals because he legitimately thinks that
that's
cooking
just
is
not
too
fair.
difficult,
Yeah,
that's weaponized incompetence,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
bullshit.
That's a great way to say it, to weaponized incompetence, because he's
Mhm.
just refusing to do it. And when you're in any relationship, yeah, it's too complicated, not too complicated. Yeah. It's like couch, not couch. Couch is a capital C, not sorry. It's a
Right.
anyway, dogs that I follow on Facebook, they go couch, not couch, because he's allowed on one couch and not the other couch. So the couch with the capital C is the couch he's not allowed on. Couch with the lowercase c is the couch he is. So couch, not couch. But yeah, it's a similar like referent. Like, yeah, my brain just fucking on the words that it was trying to say. Right, yeah, it's more like I can't be bothered. Like, I don't feel like it. There are times where it's like I'll set a timer on my phone versus using the timer on the oven because the timer on the oven settings are too many things to push.
Yeah,
Like it whereas my phone I can be like, "Hey, your name," because I'm not gonna say it because it'll
I know.
make her
It'll
stop
set
her
everything
speaking.
off. Yeah.
Um, you know,
Hate that
like
bitch.
I am excited though. So I bought myself a ceiling fan for my room and it
Uh-huh.
can connect to my Google Hub,
Nice.
which I'm super excited about. But looking at the instruction, I was talking to Dave yesterday. Also, he's an asshole because he won't drive 5 hours to install it for me.
Right? What a
Dick.
dick.
That's what I said. I
Yeah.
literally was
I'm
like,
with
"You're
you.
a dick."
He's the asshole.
He's the
Dave
ass.
can't drive.
I know Dave
He
can't
might murder
Dave
children. We talked about this earlier.
I know.
Dave, we're just giving you a hard time
It
to
did
be
make you laugh
funny.
really hard when you were like, no. And I go, "You're a dick." You just
Yeah.
you lost it. Um, but yeah, so like that's a really complicated thing, right?
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Like I'm the type of person where I'm bound and determined to figure out that bitch. Like I
Yeah.
didn't do it yesterday when it got here. I might do it after the show. I might just play games. I don't know yet. But I want to get it set up too because A, my room gets way too hot, and B,
Yeah.
fucking cool. I can control my light and the fan from my Google or my phone or
Right.
the remote. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but if I can fucking figure out how to install
Oh,
a
absolutely.
ceiling fan, this man can learn how to boil water. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I will say,
100%.
okay, so I will 100% admit to the fact that like boiling eggs, making hard boiled eggs can be an exact science, right? Like, fuck you too. It can be difficult. I have an egg
It
timer,
can.
like little thing that, with soft,
Yeah.
medium, hard, it fills up with, you just put it in and it's egg shaped. It's really cute. So I use that all the time. Even my grandma uses it now because when I moved in here, she's like, "This is awesome." Like, I know, right? So I get like boiling eggs can be difficult,
Right.
but you figure it out after a while, right?
Or you get tools that help you to do it
Right?
better.
Yeah, yeah. You make it work.
That's what being an adult is. So,
I mean,
anyway,
I
I think we
lived
go
on
on to the next one.
spaghettios in my first apartment. Like
Yeah.
for longer than a week. This man's just being a little bitch baby. So
Yeah.
okay. Anyway,
I know. When I
obviously
first
his
started too, I was like so heated about it because I was like, "Are you for
if I was
real?"
ever in a relationship with somebody that was like that,
I would
I
not be in a
I
relationship with
I
them.
would not be in a relationship with that person anymore.
Hasta la never. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like sorry. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things I will tolerate in relationships, but being a bitch
That
baby is
ain't it.
not one of them.
Exactly.
Um, I
See,
also
now
did
Dave
one
may make
for
the
his
weirdest
videos.
concoctions known to man on his
100%.
TikTok, but at least he can like make a concoction. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's more just for like his own entertainment than it is for
100%.
actual
He
human
gets
consumption, I
into his
think.
Dave brain things, as we say.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, what happens if I put these two items together?" And then he makes it a TikTok, and it
And he
grosses me the
goes,
fuck out. But
yeah, he was like, it
it's fine,
wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still not great for every day.
right? I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
and I'm sure that they have. My brain sometimes can't separate the ingredients. And I also have
Yeah.
a texture thing with food where I get picky about
Hmm.
it. But um, But yeah, like, and I'm getting better with it the longer I live on my own, but especially when I first moved out on my own, like I was a very strict recipe follower. Like I needed a recipe to
Yeah,
make something because I didn't know what, certain
right.
seasonings tasted like or what accented what. Like, but it's a growing process and
It is.
it's a yeah, it's very much just a way to grow and educate yourself. And so I think
Mm,
it's a necessity as part of being an adult and improving. And this guy has no interest in improving themselves.
mhm.
That's good to know that cumin is required for taco. I don't know that I've ever put cumin in my taco meat,
It's in a lot of taco, like the pre-made
like
taco
the season.
packets.
And see, like
Yeah.
my grandma is somebody, she grew up on a farm in Canada, like salt and pepper all the way is basically all she grew up with. And I'm like, nope, I like, I love like the mixed
Yeah.
seasonings, and Montreal is one of my favorite things for meat in
Mm,
particular. But yeah, that's a good thing to know. But yeah, especially with taco meat, like she never gets the packets of seasoning for tacos. I'm like,
yeah. My family with taco meat, we always so, like, on the package with the taco, like, packet, it says
mhm,
that, like, you cook it and then you drain off some of the fat and then you put the taco seasoning in and add water. Instead of doing water, we always use beer instead, and, oh, so good. So, little pro tip for you,
the
instead of
skin
using
doesn't wear off.
water when you're cooking the taco meat up, use a little bit of beer.
That's like using red wine in spaghetti sauce, but it has to be the right red wine.
It has to be the right one. Yeah.
Um, that's good to know. That makes me
Yeah.
remember when I failed miserably at making beer can chicken on the grill.
Mm,
Only because it fell over and I didn't know it felled fell
it
over.
felt
So I came out and it was like burned to I cried. Like
oh,
I literally cried. My grandma's like,
I would've
"We'll
cried.
we'll salvage it. We'll, just take the burnt skin off." I'm like, "But the skin's the best part." I was so
Yeah.
mad at myself. Um,
Alright, are we ready for the next one? I
yes,
think it's yours.
it is. This is a nice short one. So, am I
Okay.
the asshole for buying a fire blanket for our new house? It says, "Hi all."
Probably not, like, fire blankets are
Right.
safe.
And I might be biased being a firefighter's kid, but I'm gonna preemptively
Fair.
say not the asshole. But we'll read it.
Yeah.
My partner, 29 female, and I, 27 male, have recently bought a house together, and we will be moving in 2 weeks. As this is the
Okay.
biggest purchase of our lives, I want to make sure that we're well protected in case of emergencies. So I've been looking online for safety devices. I found a fire blanket for €9, so I decided to buy it with my own money.
Mm,
I think. As it is better to have and not need than to need and not have. 100%. The fire
yeah.
blanket arrived the following day, and for some reason, this was a huge issue for my girlfriend. It started a really unnecessary argument. Sounds like it. She was
It's
questioning why
super
I bought
unnecessary.
it, how I could prioritize a fire blanket over other items, furniture, washing machine, TV, etc. What my logic behind buying it was, and how we don't need a fire blanket as none of her family and friends have one. So, um, she also said this was a huge red flag from her side, as it shows I have questionable logic slash decision making. And she's worried I may do something even more stupid in the future. Oh my God, dude, break up with her.
Yeah.
From my side, I was only thinking about our safety, and it can be easily taken with us when we move. I used my money
Yeah.
to pay for it, and it's just a good item to have in case of a pan fire. In addition, I've been looking at the bigger items, but there are still people living at the property we're moving to, so we can't exactly buy things like furniture until they've moved out. I honestly don't see the big deal as it's just a fire blanket, but the argument
Yeah.
resurfaced this morning, and she said her family and friends agree with her and think I'm an idiot for buying it. I think you're brilliant. Like, I don't have one, but I probably should. It's one of those things where everybody should probably have one.
Also, I don't think her friends and family actually believe that.
Probably
I
not,
think
no.
if her friends and family said that, it was to back her up because I feel like they
Yeah,
have to do that, but
right.
I digress.
Um, I've been mulling over this in my mind, trying to think what could possibly be so controversial about a fire blanket, but I'm coming up empty each time. So Reddit, I come to you to try to get some perspective and objectivity. Am I the asshole?
No, not the asshole.
Uh, it could be, but that's like so I have a life experience similar to this, right? Like my
Mhm.
ex-brother-in-law had bought a ladder, uh two-story ladder so that if there was a fire they could get out of their new house. I don't have one, but again, should I? Probably. I can't get out of
Maybe.
this window without breaking a leg, probably. So, but does everybody have one? No, but they also, again, like it's better to have one. And for €9, I don't know what the conversion is. Dave probably would know it in his head.
I think
Um,
that's around like $15, 14, 15. It's changing,
something like that,
so
right? So, but for $15 of his own money, it's not he didn't even
right.
use like their house fund for it. Threw
It
his
might be
all
closer
at
to 13 now, Dave, you're right. I think when I was last having to convert it to euros, it was closer to like
right.
15, but I
But
think you're
still,
right now it
who
is closer
cares?
to 13.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's nothing. That's a
It's
drop in the bucket.
nothing. And like he said, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
that.
I absolutely think that she's just being a bitch about it. I think, so every apartment should have a, um, I almost call it a fire hydrant, but
Oh,
that's not the word.
yeah. This
What's
somebody
the
comments,
thing?
I
The
have five, one for each area of the house.
what's the thingy that shoots out the foam? The fire something or other?
Uh,
It's in like a red
extinguisher?
canister.
Yeah,
Yeah,
an
that one.
extinguisher.
So every apartment's supposed to have one, and I don't, and that's something that I still need to contact,
You should
the
actually have
building
two. You
manager
should
about
have a special
'cause
kitchen one and an regular one. Technically, you could get
technically,
away with a
most
kitchen one
apartments
and
only
use it
do one.
anywhere, but kitchen ones are
Yeah.
slightly different. Um, we have set like okay, my grandpa was somebody very, very paranoid about fires, but his first house burned down like to the ground.
It's
So we
it's a
have
super
several.
common thing. Yeah.
Right. Um, where is it? I don't know where it is. See. Oh, did you put it behind my back? He like threw the ball at me somewhere, and now he's um. But yeah, like
That's a ridiculous thing for someone to get upset about and to be like, "You bought that
yeah,
before you bought furniture." If they're
he
not even
says
in
it's
their
such a
place
red
yet,
flag.
then a
I'm
fire blanket
sorry.
is the only thing he could buy. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because it's small enough to move with you from one place to the next without taking up any, like, real estate in your current living situation.
Right.
That's totally
Right.
reasonable. She's being ridiculous. My
Yeah.
eyelashes just stabbed me, and that hurt a lot.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Um.
I might cry a little. We'll see.
Uh. Somebody goes reads post. Huh. Adds to cart. Perfect. Somebody else goes, I just
Yeah,
bought a 2-pack. We have a fire pit and I didn't even know fire blankets existed. Such a great idea, not the asshole.
right,
Um,
agreed.
yeah, it and the only reason like and so bringing the apartment thing when my sister and I moved into our old townhouse, my dad bought the extinguishers for us, and that's the only reason why I know that there's a separate kitchen one. They're black, or the ones here at least. The kitchen ones are
Yeah.
in a black, or the garage ones are like silver. Kitchen ones are black, and then the house ones are red up here. I
Hmm,
think. Um,
good to know.
but
Oh, I hate when that happens.
God,
Ugh.
that's the worst.
I
Um,
secretly wonder how many eyelashes are stuck behind my eyeball because there's, like, a cavity back there, and
yeah.
I bet you it's a metric fuck ton. I
Oh,
bet you it's a
my
lot.
so with my astigmatism, my contacts sometimes will fold and they'll get stuck like up here in my eyes,
Oh,
which is horrifically painful. But I've had like
yeah.
I literally once like I thought one came out completely and I found it in my eye like 3 weeks later. It finally came out enough. I was like, I thought you just fell out like while I was sleeping because sometimes I nap with them in or something.
Yeah.
Um, you have a
That's gonna have to be a conversation for another time because I cannot
yeah,
process
I'm
that while we're still
confused
doing
by
the show.
that.
That's too much for my brain to work through currently. We'll
Uh,
discuss that later, Dave. I have questions. I have so many follow-up questions.
as a oh, also the mess. I would think in an emergency, I would hesitate to blast foam all over the place versus throwing a blanket over it. And somebody
Right.
goes, as a high school science teacher, I had a few small fires that needed putting out, I always went for the blanket. Faster, no
Yeah.
mess, and reusable. Way better than an extinguisher for small fires.
Yep.
High school chemistry teacher here. Yep. And my kids were like, but that's the table, not a person. I'm glad they know the rules, but dang, lol. Because true, I mean, fire blankets are technically like to wrap yourself in to
Right.
extinguish a fire. But
But it works on other
it
things
can use
too,
it. Yeah, you can use it on an inanimate
on
object as
anything
well.
that's small enough to be fully covered.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's so many years ago. I took a fire safety class. We were shown a video demonstration of sparks starting a small fire on a couch, and within 2 minutes, the entire living room went up in flames. It was terrifying. So when I was
Yeah.
younger, my dad's fire department would run like at the county fair or whatever every year. The fire department does an open house, and they used to let the firefighters' kids run this. It was a simulation trailer type of setup.
Mhm.
So you go in, and so it was always with like little kids, and we had like a candle on top of a newspaper or like a broken extension cord.
Mhm.
Fight
That's super
different fire
common.
hazards that the kid we had to talk about with the kids and get them to identify as many as they could in the room. And then we filled the room up with like not toxic smoke.
Mhm.
And we had it was an upper and a lower section of this trailer, so they could practice getting down a ladder and stuff too. And then I always had to pick a kid to practice calling 911. Um, the downside of that was we did it from inside the trailer, not the outside of the trailer, which is not what you would typically do, but it was
Right.
before like cell phones were as
A
readily
thing.
available, so it was hooked up in the
Yeah.
trailer. But it was like something very like enlightening and a good thing for these little kids to understand um
Right.
to do. But yeah, I mean, honestly, fire blankets, like I knew they existed, but I didn't necessarily think I thought more of them more as something like to have on your kit. Like I have a little like
Right.
throwaway version of one in my EMT
Mhm.
bag, but um
A household item is a good idea too.
household item's not one that
Yeah.
I would necessarily think of, but it's actually really smart. I should
And
actually
especially
I
for
bet you my dad could bring
€9,
it.
like, that's
9
not
euros
bad.
is nothing. Nothing.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
Also, speaking, I've been talking about my dad a lot today. I don't doubt he's watching. He's not even on Facebook, so I doubt he's on Twitch. But it's my dad's birthday today. Happy
Happy
birthday, Dad!
birthday.
I won't say how
Gifting
old you are,
9 euros.
but
Yeah.
uh, happy birthday.
Yeah,
Anyway,
happy birthday.
um,
Alright, ready for the next one?
yes.
This one I just think is funny.
Okay.
Um, so the title is "Am I the asshole for not always meeting my fiance at the door?" And again, this doesn't give any genders or ages, but based off of the way OP talks, I'm pretty sure OP is a boy, and he's talking about his girlfriend. He does refer to her as a fiance, and he does use she, her pronouns. So,
Okay.
my fiance has expressed exasperation and concern multiple times that I do not jump up to open the door for her if she is home. Sometimes she might have food in her hands or mail, but other times she's just upset that she had to unlock the door herself. I always try to be there if I know she needs assistance, but sometimes there's just not an opportunity. If I'm in the kitchen and don't hear her pull up, I'm asleep or using the restroom or just in the middle of something that I can't jump right out of. But no matter the case, she always takes it as a personal attack. Now, here's the thing. I literally cannot remember the last time she has greeted me at the door. I am always expected to be opening it myself. I frequently go out to pick up food for the family and am never greeted at the door when I get home. No matter if herself and her son are just sitting in the living room watching TV, I'm expected to handle it myself. I've tried to talk to her about this before, and I've tried to tell her, don't come up to the door with a full load of groceries or mail, whatever, in each hand if you don't know whether or not I'll be there to open it for you. But each time she seems to take it as a personal insult. I've asked her to even call me and warn me so that I can be ready for it, which she doesn't do. TLDR, I don't want to become my fiance's personal doorman. Is that unreasonable?
Absolutely not. Unreasonable.
Right?
Yeah. Like if you want your partner to do something for you, you can't be expected for them A to even know that you want them to do it or B do it if you're not doing it yourself, right? Like
Right?
treat others how you want to be treated, right?
Yeah.
But she's not even willing. Like, I could absolutely see, like, hey, I'm bringing up a shit ton of groceries. Can you come help me in 5 minutes?
Mhm.
You know, but
Right. But like my thing is, who needs that? Like that must have come from somewhere. Maybe her parents did it. They, you know, the
well,
dad was always at the door for the mom. But like honestly, if someone was at the door every time I opened it, I'd get
like, why
pissed
are you
off
checking
real
me? Like,
fucking quick.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd be like, let me like breathe a second. You don't need to be on me the second I come into this house. Like sometimes you can be away. You know what I mean? And maybe that's just me because I'm very much like hot and cold.
yeah.
Like
No, I get that
I want your
absolutely.
presence sometimes, not all the
Yeah.
time. You
No,
know what
I
I mean?
get that. Like that when Matt's here, and like last week it was bad just because it felt like every time I came home from work, I had Matt and my grandma like coming out to talk, like even like meeting me outside to talk to me, and I was like, I just let me get in the house, put my stuff down, and like settle in a minute.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't understand it.
I don't
I don't
either. I think
understand
it's
it.
wild. I think that for her to take it as a personal insult that like he's not
Yeah,
there to open the door for her, even when she doesn't need help. And that's also me. Like I'm the kind of person that I get very irritated by the dumbest shit. I don't generally enjoy when guys open my car door for me. Like I think
it
it's
can
such
be
an
nice now and
antiquated
then, but
thing. I
uh,
don't know why. I always just felt like you think like I'm incapable of opening it. I know that's not what you're
right, yeah,
saying, but like that's how my brain processes it as like
yeah,
you think I can't do this myself. I can open
right,
a door. I don't need you. But that's just me being stupid. That's me being dumb. Like I'll put that out there 100%. So maybe that's why it's like I have such a strong reaction to that
right.
because absolutely not, Dave. That is not going to be a uniform requirement for me to wear cat ears. That's cute, and I'll do it every once in a while, but that's not an everyday thing.
Okay.
Um,
The like hoodie that I want on Amazon because I'm becoming crazy cat lady. I bought a sling to carry the kitten around in.
did you really? That's adorable.
I did.
I love that.
Because I'm obnoxious. I mean, it could be used for any small pet, but right,
Yeah,
it's bright yellow too, because the yellow one was cheaper than any of the other colors.
fair,
Um,
fair.
and I want to get the hoodies that have the big pouches in the front, put
Mhm.
animals in. And the one that I want has, when you flip the hood up, it has ears on it.
Adorable. But yeah, I just wanted to read that
Obnoxious.
one because it
It's
pissed me
obnoxious,
off
but
that, there's
100%.
such a double standard there, like, she expects him to do it and then she doesn't do it. That pisses me off when there's that kind of a double standard happening. I
Yeah,
think that's the thing that gets me the most.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
it'd be reasonable if that was it still wouldn't be reasonable to me for her to get upset about it, but it'd be more reasonable if that was the way she behaved with him. So,
Right. All right. My last one
okay.
was the one that when I told you the title, you were like, that one sounds like it could be funny.
Okay. I'm excited. Also, don't mind me just eating chocolate the entire time for those of you in
I'm
the chat.
ignoring it
I
only
have
because I'm
literally
jealous I don't have any.
I
I
know,
like
I
right
showed
before bed last night was like, I want chocolate, and I didn't have any chocolate. Are those
that's
Rolos
why
too?
yeah, Rolos and, Hershey Hugs,
I love the
because
hugs.
hugs are better than kisses, and in chocolate form,
Right.
let me clarify.
Minimum.
In chocolate form, hugs are better than kisses.
I was gonna say that one might depend on the person, but
No,
uh,
known fact, hugs are better than kisses in chocolate.
yeah, they
Debate me in the comments.
right. Sound off. Rolos are
Yeah,
amazing though.
those are so good.
Okay, so am I the asshole for leaving my crying colleague for a party? So this happened a while ago, but it recently came up in conversation between my friends. And some said I acted harshly, so I wanted some extra opinions. I love Dave's like judgments based just on the
He
title.
goes, "Immediately, don't need to hear anything else, not the
Right.
asshole, move it along."
You know,
All right,
I work
I
in the
try to
patrol.
avoid doing this, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a coworker who's crying and they're putting pressure on you to act a certain way, fuck them. Go live your goddamn life.
Let's see, because maybe there's some there's some juicy
I
gossip
don't
that'll
care if
totally
they
change our
used to fucking
worldview.
were childhood best friends. If all they are is a coworker and they're crying, that's not your problem, homie. If you want to help them, help them. If you don't want to deal with it, fuck off and go do whatever. Sorry, I feel strongly about this because it's been an issue.
That's fair.
Apparently Dave is cold-hearted dick and leaves women crying in their cubicles.
Okay, we'll unpack that at a later date, but let's get back to the story.
To Dave's therapy sessions later on.
Yeah. Mhm.
Anyway, so it says, I work in the petroleum industry, and I've lived in a Middle East country for about 7 years. My work was fully field oriented, where I will spend some days in the desert and then come back to the city for a couple of days. It was very hard to maintain appearance other than basic hygiene, clean clothes, brush teeth, wash face. Once I come back to my accommodations, I will take a 2-hour long hot water bath. Why is this pertinent? Anyway,
Oh, that sounds amazing.
right? Just to feel clean. And then if it's still not right, go to party with whoever else available from our peers. We didn't have friends outside of work. Understand that,
Right.
right? Enter a new hire girl. Why? From another country in the same profile as I work, but trainee position. I gave her the gist of it. The life is tough. Fieldwork didn't have luxury, but money is good, so she can decide in a month if she wants to work in this role or not. She had heavy makeup on. I told her maybe she wouldn't have time to do that in the field, so she should get used to it. All of this information was taken in with a blank face, so I didn't know if she felt anything bad or not. I know I can be abrupt and to the point a lot, and people who know me get used to it. Few days later, I came back from the field and was getting ready to go out. I called out in our group chat, and 4 or 5 people told me they were coming. 10 minutes before we go out, one of the other colleagues, S, a male, calls me and asks me to come to Y's apartment as she is crying and she doesn't know what to do. I got ready quickly, go to her apartment, and sat down to ask what happened. Between sobs, she says, since coming here, she has gained 1.5 kilos of weight. Her jeans don't fit anymore. S was a
I have
dear
no
friend of
reference for how much that weight that is.
I have no idea either.
Dave, do you know? Put it in the chat if you do. I feel like Dave would know that shit. That's a very Dave kind of a thing.
Yeah, random info,
Yeah.
or he can look it up.
He's looking like he's trying to do the math in his head.
I know. He's like the Trivial Pursuit,
Right.
like 7 pounds.
Like 7
Okay,
pounds? That's like nothing.
right? I mean, that could be like bloating.
Yeah, literally. Anyway,
Really
sorry,
big
didn't mean to
fat
derail.
S was a dear friend of mine, and I know he has been courting her, so for his sake, I tried to sit through. I told her maybe she could wear a skirt. She continued sobbing. I asked if she had, it's 2.2 pounds. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I asked if she had anything that she could wear, and then maybe in the mall we can buy some new clothes that fit her. She shouted at me saying, I don't understand the problem. How could she show her fat face to anyone? Mind you, she is 5'2" and weighed 52 kilos at that point. Which I don't know
That's
what
like,
that can
I'm going to assume we're talking like maybe 120.
Yeah, probably teeny tiny.
Yeah.
Like 110. Okay, that's
110.
a fraction of what
So that's nothing.
Yeah, I was that like in high school and I still thought it was
Yeah.
bad. So I get that
Homegirl
part.
has some like personal
But I
eating
do get
things that she needs to work through.
that weight,
Yeah.
like gaining 2 pounds, your jeans wouldn't fit right. So I can understand that, but it's probably a pant size, you know?
Yeah. If that, really. It's like a half a pant size.
Right. It probably was like they probably fit, but were tight. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Or she had to really like to button
right,
it.
yeah. Doing the whole lay down on the bed and suck in your belly.
Yeah, and go, yeah.
105 pounds. Ridiculous. Okay.
So nothing.
And she's my height. So
Yeah.
So it says, and then I was close to 75 kilos. She told me just because I don't care about my body doesn't mean she won't. And she can't go to the party until she loses some weight because that's going to
No,
happen
she's just being a
in
bitch.
minutes.
She's just being
Yeah,
a bitch. You're gonna do that in the
she's
next
being
5 minutes.
overly
You're gonna lose
emotional.
2 pounds. No.
She was still crying, and my other colleagues were ready to go downstairs waiting for me. So I just got up. I told her, you know what? No, I don't understand. Not do I care about it. Maybe
Nor
nor do I
probably.
care about it is
Yeah.
probably what they meant. I have to
Right.
leave for a party I want to enjoy with my loose fitting jeans. So good luck with your dieting, and stormed off. Okay, that was kind of a dick thing to say, but still funny.
Kinda dickish,
Justifiable.
but at the same time, like if
Just an
she
asshole.
got on him for being 75 kilos, which is still, he didn't give his height, but I'm assuming he's not 5'2" or whatever it was
Right,
that she is.
right. I mean, let's say
Even if she was, it
11 is
wouldn't be
fine.
a big deal anyway.
Right.
Because even if she was, that's what, 130, 140, somewhere in there
Yeah.
pounds? Like that's still nothing for that like height.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Um, so a
Plus,
month later,
I
she quit
can't
because
even
it didn't
discuss how
fit her
much pounds
lifestyle.
do not equal health
Yeah.
because sometimes like muscle weighs differently than fat.
Right.
So you could be heavier but still be incredibly fucking lean. Like
Right.
anyway, sorry. That pisses me off. Anyway,
100%. I agree. A month later, she quit because it didn't fit her lifestyle, and we were rather happy to see her go. In her exit interview, she said that people were unfriendly here. We only know because we were giving a verbal warning to be more friendly to newcomers. But still, like,
he's the asshole. He's not. Like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna be crying to the point where you have to bring everybody into your little room before you guys go out to have fun because you can't figure out what to wear because you put on 2 fucking pounds,
right.
you're an asshole. You're an asshole. You're ruining everybody
You're just
else's night
being
because you're having an emotional reaction to something that's
right.
arbitrary.
Right.
You're an asshole.
Very much.
I'm not about it. And I'm super not about her being like, just because I care about my appearance, which is probably also because he made that whole, comment about not wearing makeup out into the field and all that kind of shit.
Right.
Which is also not bad advice. When you
It's
work
really
in a
not.
job that's like that, like
Out in the
unless
desert.
you're able to do the makeup and you don't care about if it runs, if it starts looking like shit halfway through,
Right.
if it doesn't make you have to get up 3 hours earlier to do it, you do you, bestie. Wear what you
Right.
want. But don't go to
Right.
someone like asking for advice, like, what should I do about this? And then when he tells you just don't wear makeup out because it's never gonna work, you can't be mad at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel strongly about this.
I I get you. Get you on that.
Yeah.
But
So
not
now I've come
even
back around to Dave's side, who he was right from the beginning.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's not like it's stupid. I get people get really uppity about stuff like that, and especially if it's a big
Absolutely.
change and she's never gained 2 pounds in her life. I get that that could be stressful, but there's not much that I would say you're an asshole for
No.
leaving somebody when you were like pulled
Yeah.
um in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh
All right, you ready for
Anyway,
my last one?
yes.
Okay. Am I the asshole for wanting to eat in front of the TV?
I saw this one too.
Yeah. You're gonna die. I, 26 male, have been with my
Probably.
girlfriend, 25 female, for 3 years. I love her
Okay.
more than anything, and I was excited to settle down and have kids with her. We've both talked about getting married and having kids, but I haven't really thought about proposing yet. I came home the other night and she had made my favorite meal: roast beef, roast potatoes, all of it. I sat down, said, "This looks terrific, honey," and began to eat. I picked up my phone and looked at the time, and I remembered that there was a football game on, so I said, "I'm going to go eat this in the living room." I picked up my plate and went into the living room. She followed after me, looking upset. I asked what's wrong, and she burst into tears, saying that she worked hard to make a romantic meal, and all I care about is football. I jokingly said, "You can't have worked that hard, otherwise, you wouldn't have overcooked the beef." She swore at me and ran out of the house. I was so confused and I didn't know what I had done. I then got a call from my mother, who, to my surprise, started screaming at me. She told me that my girlfriend had come home to her to find out my favorite meal and my favorite songs to make a special playlist because my girlfriend was planning on proposing to me that night. I was completely shocked. I felt like an idiot and I don't know how to fix this. My girlfriend is
Oh,
extremely sensitive, and when she's criticized, it doesn't just roll off her back. I know she's not going to look
oh,
at me the same after I ruined her proposal. Am I the asshole?
oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard because I'm somebody that I will eat most times in front of the TV or the computer or whatever. I'd rather be
Oh,
company.
yeah.
But if somebody makes a nice meal and like sets the table and, I mean, that is really nice and quality one-on-one time, you know. Um,
Mhm.
and I get there's no way that he could have known that she was gonna propose, like,
But, like, if you come home to your favorite meal
yeah,
cooked and the dinner table all nice and set and
yeah,
your,
you're an
favorite
asshole.
music on, like,
And
regardless
first
of
of
whether or not there's gonna
all,
be a
like,
proposal, she just put in all of this work to make a nice ass dinner. And, like, I can totally get if you wanna watch the game, absolutely, but make it more of, like, a conversation, like, "Hey, I just realized the Texas A&M
yeah,
game is on.
get it.
Can we go watch that while we eat this amazing meal that you cooked?"
Yeah,
Like,
and don't insult her cooking.
yeah,
Uh,
that was the part that got me the most. Don't be like, "Well, you couldn't work that hard on it if you overcooked the beef." Like, you already know that she's upset, and now you're gonna take a jab at her
who
cooking? You
and I love
fucking
that she goes to his
man-child.
mom, like,
Yeah.
to call her and say, well, not only like to say, hey, what's his favorite meal, like that's
Mhm.
adorable and super thoughtful. Um,
Yeah.
but like after the fact that he did what he did, her
Right?
going to his mom is brilliant. But
I love it.
uh
Yeah, exactly. If
what
someone
a
sets a table, you
douche.
sit at the fucking table and you eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But some of the comments
Absolutely.
I really liked. One of them said, "I was all geared up to call you not the asshole because it's really ridiculous for her to act like that when she didn't communicate to you that she wanted it to be a romantic dinner, especially since there's nothing inherently romantic about beef and potatoes. But then you went and insulted her cooking and disrespected her effort when she was very clearly upset, while you know how deeply criticism hurts her. Holy shit, dude. Way to be a complete disrespectful asshole. Your girlfriend was upset. Instead of being kind and explaining that you didn't understand her intentions with dinner, you called her cooking bad and said that she didn't put any effort into it. You're the asshole so much I find it hard to believe when you claim not understanding what you did wrong." And someone commented and said, "Yeah, I was right there with him at the beginning and anticipated my
Yeah.
girlfriend never wants to eat in front of the TV. Am I the asshole for wanting to do it every so often?"
Right.
But it just kept getting worse and worse. He already sat down at the table to eat, left in the middle of the meal. She's crying. He insults her efforts to make his favorite meal. And while totally oblivious to whatever other romantic touches, candles, a nice tablecloth, whatever happened to be there, she put the effort into he completely ruins night. Even if I hadn't planned a proposal with the meal, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
You're the asshole, OP. You have some serious apologizing to do.
Yeah. And a lot of fucking sucking up to do because
Yeah.
that's a dick thing.
Right?
A dick thing. Um,
Yep.
so now I really want to make like good crock pot roast beef tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Out of fridge, we don't have many of the ingredients, so I'd have to go out into the outside, and I don't do
Mhm.
that. What a dick.
Right? What a dick. Yeah.
That was spicy.
Right? I was so mad when I read that. I was like, "You've gotta
Yeah.
be fucking kidding me."
All right.
Mm.
So now for our next little mini game. Uh,
Yes.
Dave found some children's book covers that were retouched,
Which I'm looking at it in Discord right now.
right?
Um, and
And
I can see that first image, and,
yeah,
that's a doozy.
and so
Is that cheese on his face? What's happening here?
That is a slice of cheese on his face, yes.
and are these the original titles of the stories,
No.
or okay?
No.
So
It gets,
that's good.
boy. Oh, girl. Fam, there's some shit coming.
Well, we started with shit, so it's only appropriate that we
Right.
continue on with shit.
I
You guys do
also
need to let me know when you're ready to move on.
Okay.
Okay, so
Uh,
this is just running commentary. There's no
yeah.
There's no
points
audio.
There's
There's
no
no.
game. It's
Yep.
just
This is just
Okay.
Dave found a rabbit hole and went, I have to share this with the world, and you are the vehicle through which I will do that.
Okay, well,
fair
thank you.
enough.
First things
I
first,
love.
I hope that it becomes a book now because The Shitty Brother is actually a great premise for like I'm assuming changing diapers and stuff. This I'm going to throw out a hot take real quick if I may. I have no problem cursing in front of kids, and I have no problem with kids cursing if they can do it appropriately and they don't curse at others. Like if they don't do it in anger to another person and they just do it because they like the use of like sprinkles on some language, you do you, boo boo. I do not care. So I think this is wonderful.
Also, like
I want this book.
toddlers cussing is amazing to me.
Adorable. Stinking
Like,
cute.
Matt used to always say fire fuck instead of fire truck.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Still love
when my daughter was very young and my son was like 18, 19 months old, right? And he, like me at that age, was very vocal. Like, he'd spoken full, like, 4 and 5 word sentences
You
at
were
18 months
vocal.
old. What?
Shock.
Yeah. Who
Nothing.
would have
Love you.
thought?
You know what? I got one for each of you to sit on this time. But
We're
they're
having too much of a good time here, Danger.
Yeah.
they're in the we're all in the truck, right? And my daughter is playing with something, and he asks for it, and he does it very nicely. And she says, "I'm playing with it right now. When I'm done, you can have it." That's how sharing
Very
works.
nicely done.
Right.
Yeah.
And he looks at her like full conviction. This is exactly what he says and how he says it. Bitch.
Amazing.
I love it.
Amazing.
I mean, I'm proud of him that he used it appropriately. Not super proud of the fact that he called his sister a bitch at 19 months or whatever. Like,
But
maybe we don't use that word this soon in life. But like, I'm okay with it.
Everybody but him laughed about it, though. Because my daughter was like
Yeah.
7 or 8 at the time. Or maybe
Yeah.
9. I don't know how far apart my children are in age.
You should figure that out, Dave. That's like kind of
4
important
years,
information.
roughly.
I know how old each of them are individually, but I'm bad at math.
Yeah.
You were not bad at math. You were just doing kilo conversions. I don't want to hear
Yeah,
it.
but that's I get why.
That's an
he says he's
engineering
bad at
brain
Yeah.
math.
Yeah.
No,
It's
that's
a
fair.
conversion is a totally different thing than subtraction.
Yeah, I can do calculus in my head, but ask me to do basic math, I'm lost.
That's
I'm
funny
the
as
opposite.
shit.
That's why we work well.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
like I can do 2 + 2, but I'm air penciling it. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
No, a lot of the basic math stuff is how. Okay, hang on. If
They're 4
she's
years apart, I
15 and
believe.
he's 11, they're 4 years apart. So
Yeah.
she would have been 5.
It's still amazing.
Still amazing.
Laughed my ass off.
That's a great story.
Laughed
Yeah.
my ass off. It was so good.
She
And
would have
he
been
was in
6,
that case
but
the
that's
shitty
okay.
brother. You know, I want to see a book, The Shitty Brother, done exactly how it is here.
Yeah.
With the older
the
brother
cheese
being
on
a
the head.
shitty brother piling cheese on his baby brother.
I mean, so
Where the
we
older
didn't use
sibling is the
cheese, but me and my older brother, and it was mostly my older brother and my cousin, to be clear. I was like had very little involvement. But we put my younger brother in this big laundry basket that we had, and he fit in it. Like he was very tiny at the time. He couldn't have been, I mean, he was definitely not older than a year. He was like 8 months old or something like that. So he was very tiny in this laundry basket. And we took those, you know, those like little sticky dart things that you would shoot out of a gun and it would stick to the window?
Yes.
We took those and licked them and stuck them all over his face and stuff, and then just took pictures of him like that. Because we thought that was very entertaining. He has since called it child abuse. Don't know why. He wasn't harmed. It was fine. We didn't
put
push him
my
down the
brother in a
stairs
dryer.
in the
He was
basket
never
at the
my kid
time.
all the time.
I also
thought it
put my
was
little
so much
brother in the
fun.
dryer, but he volunteered to go in, and he has since
Same.
changed his story. He's like, I would never have done that. And I'm like, you definitely did. I wouldn't have just put you in the dryer. Now, did I put you in the Fisher Price fake kitchen set refrigerator against your will? Very much yes. But you were fine. The dryer was different, and we didn't turn it on, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh no, we 100% turned on the dryer with my brother in it.
Oh my God, you're awful. That's
It was
terrible.
okay. Me and my brother are only 14 months apart, so we're basically the same age. First, and second, it
I'm
was
not in it.
his idea.
To
If
turn it on?
anybody asks,
Yeah, to turn it on or just to get into it.
Yeah.
both.
Mm-hmm. I
Your
believe one of
little
those.
brother literally goes, "Hey, I'm gonna climb in this dryer, and I want you to shut the door and turn
You
it
know
off."
what else he did 3 years later? He rode a bicycle off the roof of a garage onto a picnic table, off the picnic table, onto the driveway, down the driveway, across the street, and up the neighbor's driveway. And guess whose idea that was? Also his. He's a crazy
No,
person.
but that sounds like a good idea.
That sounds
That
He
sounds like a
also-
viral YouTube video right there.
He
But
also
what
went through a
for you?
barbed wire fence on a 3-wheeler and almost tore his entire head off.
That sounds like a bad idea.
That does sound like a
Yeah,
bad
his
idea.
leather jacket saved him.
I bet.
Because it hit him so hard, and this was a real leather jacket, right?
Yeah. So it's tough.
But at
built
the
for
collar
tough.
got torn completely off,
Ooh.
and where his neck was sitting against the barbed wire fence is where the collar was wrapped around it.
Wow.
Otherwise, it would have torn his neck open. He had a
Yeah.
6-inch cut on his arm that had to be stitched shut.
Damn.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it was super gnarly.
All right. Are we all good on the shitty brother? Do we want to venture
Yeah,
on to the
we can
next
move on.
image? Let's see what he's got. What you got? Oh no.
Okay.
Okay. This is actually quality life advice.
It is.
Do
it is
not,
very-
in fact, lick the stripper pole.
Probably not.
I think
no.
that is something that if you own one in your home, you should actually advise your kids on. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's just you using it, there's still parts of your body touching it that aren't washed as frequently as they need to be. You know what I mean?
Hey, little Timmy, mommy puts her fun bits on that. Don't lick it.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I wouldn't take that approach necessarily,
Eh,
but the
why not?
information is all the same. Yeah.
We have two
Danger's
of 'em
dying.
here.
Look, oh,
No, you were supposed to be paused. You bastard.
okay.
I don't know why,
chat
but
later.
in Discord it just says "oh no" in the bottom, and it just makes me laugh.
It
Oh
does.
no.
Oh no. No,
That's the
no,
name
no,
of the
no.
video.
Oh,
I love
gotcha.
it.
I edited all these pictures into a video.
Okay.
See?
How to impress girls with power farting? Now, I will say this. If your fart pushes you that high into the air, I might be
Right.
impressed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, are those boots or just socks?
I think it's
Can't
just
tell.
socks, but maybe it is a boot.
Also he's cheating because there's a trampoline under him, which is not fair.
Yeah.
Some of
I'm
these do have 2
surprised-
books in them.
I'm surprised
Okay.
the one kid on the left is not one of them doesn't have the other one's head into the
In the bowl.
laundry water trying to drown them.
Agreed.
Um
Agreed. That would be a more
Probably,
accurate
like-
representation.
Oh my gosh, they are
Right.
doing the laundry. I thought they were mixing cement.
nope, not cement. They're washing clothes.
Curious how you got there. Again, we can discuss it later.
In your next therapy session.
Yeah. Very much, yes. Ooh, death cults. Death cults, an illustrated guide for children. You know what,
That
though?
actually
There's a
would be,
lot of
like, a
people that are
funny
put in
aspect.
death cults, and they should know about it a lot sooner than they do. If
Absolutely.
they saw the warning signs, the amount of like trauma that generations of kids would be saved from,
Absolutely. 100%.
amazing. Yeah. Learn about spitting on cakes. You know, I still want to blow out
Also,
candles on
not
cake,
wrong.
though.
Not wrong.
But I'm gonna eat that spit. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's my cake anyway. And if I'm eating somebody else's cake that they've spit on,
Well,
I've probably already come into contact with their spit anyway. So, like, what's a big deal?
especially back in the day, right? Like we were not careful about that stuff.
No, God, no.
why
The amount of shit
Are
I shared
the
with
other
friends.
children also blowing out the candles? So that's what I really want
I
to
know
know.
that's.
Like,
I think that's
how
the most
rude.
bullshit part about this.
Right.
You blow out my birthday cake candles,
Yeah.
we fighting.
You blow out my birthday cake candles, I blow out your life.
Yeah. Take
That's
that
good.
to the
Yeah.
bank.
Right.
I
I
love
got
it though.
nothing else.
Right?
Got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing. All right, next.
I just love the death cults.
I do too. That's my fave. Go to sleep
It's the
forever.
same book forever.
That's the funniest shit.
This
It's
is
funny because I've
all
edited his
Disney
little
brother.
eyes too
Mhm.
to be like wide open, like
Yeah, the sequel
yeah.
to the
Shitty little brother. The sequel is Go to Sleep Forever.
How it works. Here. The fuck.
Let's Ride with Strangers and other rhymes.
Rhymes. Also,
That one's
what, like,
pretty great.
yeah, that is a book I would read as an adult.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Yes, which is a phenomenal book.
That's a phenomenal book.
I'm so sad I sold my copy of it to a coworker.
Yeah, you should be. That's disappointing.
It is. And there's a sequel called No, I Won't Go the Fuck to Sleep from the child's perspective.
That's amazing. I love
Also
that.
read by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Gotta love Samuel L.
Oh God, yes.
Summer.
If I ever write a children's book that uses the word fuck excessively, I know who I'm going to have read it.
Right?
Me. I want to read it.
Okay.
I will read it. That's
Okay. That was easy.
You need to hit that easy button.
Right? How it works offending internet people. I don't know if that's so much a kid's book as like a book everybody should probably read
Right?
once in their life.
Absolutely.
Just so they can figure out like, oh, so when I say things like that, that's okay. I give them a layup, essentially. And they just slam dunked that bitch on home. Got it. Also, make it at home crystal meth. Is that what crystal meth looks like? I'm confused. I've never
Rainbows?
seen it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get the book and then I'll find out.
There we go.
Yeah.
There
Okay. Okay.
Flowers are very pretty. We can make more money growing pot. Also, not wrong, especially nowadays.
Facts. Yeah. Big facts.
Unless you're in the Danish flower market. Those.
Oh, yeah. Like the tulips and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But those are very pretty.
Like, tulip festival in Pella.
Yeah.
It's apparently a tip-top
Okay.
elf book.
Oh my God.
Scandalous. Okay, the look on his face though. How could you title this anything else?
We drive.
Also, why is the mom in the back seat and the kids not in a car seat in the front? Like they're just loosey goosey up front.
She's got the chloroform. When they get to the destination, she's gonna chloroform them. I just love though we drive to a remote location adventure.
I didn't even see that. That's so funny. That's actually hilarious.
Very, very fucking funny.
I love that.
Very funny.
That's great. A++. Whoever wrote this. Also, I want to see the full copy.
The Miller
family refuses to wear their seatbelts.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly. Even the baby.
Yeah. Now, granted, this might be before seatbelts were invented. For all we know, they've had those dumbass lap belts.
Why is the mom sitting bitch?
Because she's giving dad a handy.
And the dog and baby.
Did you say she's giving dad a handy?
Yeah, look at his face. He's clearly getting a handy.
Oh.
That's why she's sitting bitch.
Don't orgasm and drive, kids.
It's a bad idea. Those children look like porcelain dolls. Like, look at their faces, though. They are creepy as fuck.
Yeah, that is true.
And the baby is the only one that looks like mom. The rest of them look like dad.
Also, yellow punch buggy, no punches back. You're welcome.
And that's all I had for that. To take care of a couple
That is amazing.
legal things. I looked for rights to the original art and to figure out who changed them.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure it out. If you did this art, let us know. We would be
Yes.
happy to
Yeah.
Credit
feature
you.
you and tell people.
Yes.
And honestly, if
'Cause-
you want to come on this show or the other show or hang out for a community game night, come hang
We
out
would
with us.
welcome that.
because
Yeah.
that art is incredible.
We'll
Um,
we'll let you do your own. We'll let you make up a game
right?
Yeah.
or something.
Absolutely.
Because I'm a
Yeah,
firm
and-
believer in crediting authors, but if you can't find an author to credit,
Right.
this all still needed shared with the world. The world
It
has to
did.
know about the shitty brother.
Yes.
It has to know about not
And
liking
its
stripper
sequel,
poles.
Go to Sleep Forever.
Forever.
Go to sleep forever. A
Yeah.
remote
Okay,
location adventure.
Speaking
I
of
hope-
remote location adventures, I did want to take a second really quick to
Great
plug
segue.
Genshin Impact, by the
Yes.
way.
Because we have
So
all
if you don't
become
remember,
obsessed.
oh my God, so obsessed. We had a sponsored stream some time ago, a week ago. I don't know. It was a Thursday night. And we all downloaded Genshin Impact. And immediately I was like blown away by the graphics and how gorgeous everything was. And you're in these like remote locations. I was just playing it the other day. I'm on level 22 now. And there's this one there's all these like hidden tasks and puzzles that you can complete within the game. And so I was in this one area of the map and I climbed this mountain because I was trying to like unlock a waypoint. And then there's this little like mini game sort of a thing where if you get all the birds, there's like these bird statue hidden on other mountains nearby. And if you get them all to face the one center mountain, it like unlocks this whole other like castle in the sky kind of a situation. You have to like jump on these platforms to get up to this other bigger platform
Yes.
that has like
I
a temple
just
on it.
beat that one
then
last
you-
night. It was a pain in the ass.
It was so beautiful. It was what, Dave? I can't hear you. Yeah.
I wasn't
okay.
actually talking to you guys. I
Oh.
was just talking out
Oh.
loud.
Oh.
But I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
it does.
remember
It's
the one where
super
I
dope.
couldn't figure out how to get up to the wall and you have to cross the wood planks over the waterfall. That like you end up getting
Oh, that's a
to
different
this-
one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, maybe it's the same one.
Yeah. Because you
I
have to
don't know.
like find the wind current to blow you up and then you
Hey,
fly over.
what are you guys doing after
Yeah.
stream? I think we should get together and play and just share notes.
We could. Dave, look at the show
There's
chat.
so many hidden things. There's like so many hidden things in the game, and
Yes.
it's addicting. Like Danger and I were talking about, she came home from work early today and played it for like hours. I played it for hours and hours the other night.
Like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it
Um,
is so much
so
fun,
much
and it's
fun.
really easy to like level up characters and rank up without having to purchase stuff, which is my favorite because I hate like
Yes.
games relying on in-app purchases to like move you
Right.
forward. Again, we downloaded this a week ago. I'm on adventure rank 22 or whatever it's called, Explorer, Adventure, same diff.
Right.
And then like my characters are levels 34 and 30, and I just added a new one today, and she's already at level 17. Like it's so much fun. It's so
Right.
addicting.
Um,
And it has decent controls for it being a mobile game. Like they're
It
really
really
not
does.
that bad. There is one boss battle that I keep losing that I'm like, maybe I'll switch to computer for this one because of the fact that like I keep losing it. Maybe it would be better to do this specific one in whatchamacallit. But other than
yes.
that, I'm loving it.
Uh,
Ooh,
I
think we're
I'm
gonna share
sharing it in Ninja so that we can
Yeah, it'll be up
see it.
on
I
the
just-
screen in just a second here.
Okay. Just let me
Yeah.
know, and then I can kind of show people around. I am a lesser rank than these guys are,
But that's okay.
but yeah,
You'll
just let
get
me
there.
know when it's going.
It is so cool.
It's cute. I'll play as Bennett
Yeah.
because he's pretty damn adorable. But yeah, like there's lots of like little like posters you can read, and you know
Mhm.
you can sit down. It doesn't do much. And the animals, like So fucking cute. Little cats.
Yeah.
Look at all these cats. I don't know if
You
they
can
can see
fly
that.
off of stuff, like, well,
Yeah.
glide, essentially. You're
Right.
flying.
Um,
It's so pretty.
it really is. It's so much fun. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm trying to get up to an adventure rank because it is co-op after a certain point. Um,
hmm
so then we can all play and do challenges and stuff together is my assumption.
Yeah.
I
Um,
haven't done any of the co-op stuff yet because I've been
yeah,
so focused on completing my tasks
I've
that I haven't wanted to stray from it.
I've been waiting to play co-op with you guys
yeah,
Aw, that's
much
super cute.
appreciated. Um,
Yeah.
because I hate strangers.
fair,
Big same.
fair.
Big same.
But yeah,
But
so
yeah, it's
it's
cool
just
because you can collect all these different things and like cook things. So when you're in the middle of the battle and you're like dying, you can replenish your energy and stuff. Um, and there's a whole bunch of like you get extra, you know, prime gems or
why are you in the
something,
fountain?
primogems. I don't know how you pronounce it.
I-
Which can like allow you to buy other stuff in apps, so you don't again have to spend money, which is amazing.
Right.
It's so cool.
Oh, look at this little dog. He's so cute,
He is.
right? Roll on your back again. That was pretty cute. Like just
But there's
the
also
art,
like plenty of waypoints too, so that
yeah.
you can like fast travel to
And then
other
you can
areas, which
teleport,
is
yeah.
nice.
Because the map is huge. Like
It is.
I just unlocked this part of the map.
hmm
I haven't been to Wolvendom yet at all. I just went to the winery for the first time. Um, I've been
Yeah.
down here, but I couldn't find whatever this piece is. The
So those are
statue
the
7.
statues to
Yeah,
the yeah
so you have
to
to
the
unlock all of
gods.
them at some point. I
hmm
couldn't find the statue in this area, which is why that part of the map isn't unlocked. But like, look at how much there is to explore.
Yeah.
And this part's
I
locked, and
can't
I
wait to get one
assume
over there. That looks so
this
cool.
might be another part you can get to.
Have you
The
not
different
been to the Musk Reef yet?
no,
D?
No. No.
Oh, that's where you do the Spiral Abyss. You have to go
okay.
to another part of the map down there at the Cape, and there's a puzzle somewhere
Mhm.
that you complete that unlocks a teleport to Musk Reef.
Oh,
Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't done that one yet.
yeah,
Also, for anybody struggling, that I'm gonna call it a lighthouse. The Shrine of the Seven is what it is in the game.
Yeah.
yeah,
That Danger was talking about. It's up on a cliff, under that blue ice that you can't melt with regular fire attacks.
yeah. You have to have the
hmm
scarlet
The
thing.
Scarlet Gem. Yeah, I had to look it up.
So
Yeah.
once you break the scarlet gems for the first time, it tells you that that's how you melt the ice. But
Yeah.
the first
You
time I
have
came
to do
across the
that
scarlet
first.
gems was after that point, and I was on a quest. So I was like, I'm gonna just keep going and have to come back and
Yeah.
finish that one. But yeah, I mean, there's so
That's one of the
look
cool
at all
things
of this
about this
for the
too,
map.
though, is
Like,
that you can
look,
also like Dave did the must brief thing, but I hadn't done that yet because a
yeah,
lot of it is very much choose your own adventure. You don't have to
yeah,
follow any one
very
set
much
path.
so.
And you can stumble
Hold
across
on.
things well before you get to it in the course of like the story, quote unquote.
Right. And you can open up like your quest book where it tells you all of your stuff. And like these ones I've like opened, but I can't do them yet.
Right. Because you're
Because
not
my
at the
rank
right
isn't high
rank.
enough. But yeah, it tells you so many things. Like it's so I'm having so much fun with it. Um
Yeah.
Well, because D, you and I are at the same point in the main story. Then we have to get to adventure rank 23 before we can continue it.
Yeah, with like
okay.
the main story of trying to find your lost sibling and everything.
Right.
Which I don't want to spoil too much, but I figure that's safe. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm super close because I'm like well into adventure rank 22 and I'm just trying to like do that. But I also want to, before I go on that journey for story 2, I want to get up to to level 40 for all of my main characters.
Yeah.
So that I can be sure that they really can like help me
Oh yeah,
once
well,
we get
especially
into that
since when you
new.
hit, what was it, adventure rank 20, that the world level went up, so all the enemies got a
Yeah.
little harder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. Um
Yeah. So I want to make sure that I am super tough.
I've never seen that
Oh
screen
yeah,
before.
because I've run into level, like 35 monsters in the wild,
Yeah.
like 35 and 40.
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is
And they're tough, man. Yeah. But
um,
it's cool because on the talents thing, it tells you what each item or what each like attack does, which I didn't find out until way later. So I was like, I'm doing this thing, but I don't really know what the effects of it are.
Right.
So like actually reading that talent section was so helpful so that I could know like,
Right.
oh, so I should wait to use this until I'm in this situation.
Right. And there's like you can see
So,
here there's so many different characters to unlock.
mhm.
Like I barely scratched the surface of it.
Oh yeah,
Um
same.
and they're continually adding to the game,
Yeah.
which is really fun. But yeah, it's unlike any game. Like it to me, it reminds me a lot of Kingdom Hearts,
Mhm.
because the art style is very similar. But I feel like there's so much more to it than Kingdom Hearts playthrough,
Yeah.
that I've done in the before. But yeah, this is Bennett. He's like my favorite because he's just a cute kid.
Yeah.
Um,
So if you guys want to, the campaign is still ongoing. Like I said, we had our sponsored stream last week. The campaign is still going. So there is a link in chat if any of you are interested to download it and play it on mobile. Um, you'll be able, if you get to adventure rank, is it 8, Dave? I think so.
6.
6. Oh, even better. So like that's super accomplishable. We accomplished that on stream.
yeah,
Because like I said, it's that easy, especially in the beginning, to rank up. So if you get to
right.
adventure rank 6, it helps out the channel a lot, because they did decide to partner with us. So we would greatly appreciate it if you're interested. Like I said, it is a lot of fun. You can advance without having to do microtransactions, um,
Yeah,
which is something that I
That's been
personally
my
look for in
favorite
a
part
game.
about this experience
yeah,
because I'm not against
Yeah,
somebody who puts out a free game trying to find a way to make money off of it.
right,
Right?
right,
exactly.
Like that's a lot of work, especially when you're looking at this game is easily the size of Breath of the Wild,
right,
Yeah,
right? In landmass.
right.
And I haven't had to spend any money. Every time I've played, I've got to roll for characters.
Yeah,
Uh
hmm
Dee hasn't rolled half of her shit
yeah,
I
because
know.
she
I'm
didn't
behind on
know that
that.
the primo gems or whatever they're called.
I don't even remember
yeah,
what they're called.
You spend those to be able to get the what are they? Essences are they called? Or
Something like that,
fates.
or
Fates.
fates.
The
Yeah,
quaint fate and the other one.
yeah.
right,
So again, that's a super cool concept. And you do have the option to purchase those too, should you want to. If you're not interested in that and you love, microtransactions, go for it. There is that path for you there, but you don't
right,
have to. And even without
right,
that, like I've got some badass gear that I've been able to level up, which really helps your character. Like not only is my character like I said, half of them are all level 4, more than half of them. But all of their weapons are like 4-star weapons at this point, which helps greatly during the battle sequences to be able to like kick some booty. So,
right.
but yeah. So we just want to remind you of that, and
Yeah.
um, yeah,
So yeah, and it can
enjoy
be
it with
played
us.
like mobile. I'm playing it on the PC just because I like PC controls better. Um, but that's me
But
personally.
you do have to.
Play the
It does have to be mobile to get to adventure level 6 in order for
Yes, for
it to count for
the
the
campaign,
campaign.
and I know like I've talked to other people that enjoy it on mobile more. I was gonna play it on my phone. I just don't have room like memory. So,
Yeah.
and as much as I keep trying to clear room, nothing I do seems to make it work. So,
Yeah.
Factory reset. Um,
I don't want to factory reset my phone,
I
Dave.
would never. I
I
would
was
die.
kidding. That was a joke. Don't
I
come
would
at
die
me.
before I factory
um,
reset my phone.
yes. So, but it's something like easy to download, and it's like
Yeah.
fun to pop in, and like even if you just do part of the quest, like it saves your progress, so it's easy to do on mobile too. It's not something that you
Yeah.
have to be able to do, um when you have a lot of time, like a
Right.
lot of other games are.
Yeah.
So
It is a great pooping game.
good to know. Good to know.
Haven't tried it in that specific scenario yet,
I
but if I
wonder if I could
ever
put it
do
on my
meet
iPad.
one.
I might be
Well,
able to
so
join.
so to me, like a great pooping game
Probably.
is any mobile game that, regardless of the amount of time you have, if you have to kill time, you can sit down and do something, right?
Yeah.
So, like Candy Crush is not a good pooping game because, yeah, you can back up in the middle of the level you left off in, but then you lost your groove and it's better to start over.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right.
So
Are
yeah,
you ready
so
for?
check that out. Yes,
Yeah.
let me pull up the sheet. Before we end the show, we have our
Mhm.
weekly femme fatale. And this
Yes.
week, I and
Mhm.
Dee was like, yes.
Hell yeah.
We picked Anna Kendrick because it's her birthday today. I didn't even know that.
No freaking way. What are the
It's her birthday
chances?
today. So
Wow.
happy birthday, Anna. Also, if you want to come
Yeah.
hang out on the show, please come
Please
join us
do.
because you're like, if I could be besties with any celebrity, it would be Anna
For
Kendrick
sure.
and
I would love
Jennifer
that.
Lawrence. Like, if I could pick two,
Yeah.
because they're both amazing.
Absolutely.
The odds, by the way, are exactly 1 in 365.
But a girl can dream. Okay, so but yeah, I'm sorry, I got distracted by today being her birthday.
Birthday. Yeah.
I love it.
It's so
But
funny.
she's just somebody that's awesome. She's so
Yep.
funny. Um,
She's hilarious.
she can sing and play serious role.
Big
Like,
facts.
she's a very versatile actress.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I really admire her. I just think she's absolutely fucking hilarious.
Mhm.
And like I said, I want to be besties. Even just for like one night. Like if I could just, sit and drink
Right.
with Anna for like a night,
Yeah. Like, let's just have a conversation. It's fine.
right? It can be virtual. I don't care. Uh,
Right. Again, if
but
she comes
yeah,
on the show,
right?
she's
She's
welcome.
born in Portland, Maine.
Okay.
She's been on Broadway. She's won many, many awards that aren't listed in the mini bio that I'm looking at right now, but I know that she has. Um, her trademarks, I just have to read these because I think they're funny.
Okay.
Trademarks, she has 4 on IMDb. It's petite frame, very often sings in her roles, very true. Often plays
Interesting.
likable, awkward characters,
True.
which is very true, and I love it. Deadpan, sarcastic sense of humor, also very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
do. I love that she encompasses that awkwardness that I think we all have had and feel. Me on a daily
Many a
basis,
time.
right?
Mhm.
Um, I say all the time, like her line from Pitch Perfect, which is "I love you, awesome nerds." Like one of my favorite things to say to people.
Yeah. I love Pitch
Um,
Perfect.
right? Oh my god, it's so good.
So good.
As a choir nerd, it was so good.
Yeah.
But she's just been. I don't think that I've seen a movie with her in it that I didn't enjoy. You know,
I don't think so.
right? Like I can't think of one at least.
No.
But yeah, she's just somebody that like, and she's is somebody very real and just like this is who I am, and if you don't
100%.
like it, fuck you. Um, but yeah, so that's our femme fatale. There isn't a lot like of her, personal life bios and stuff on here. But she's a private person with that stuff.
Which is kind of nice. Like if I were ever to be, which I'm not, but if I
Right.
were to ever be a celebrity, that's the kind of celebrity that I would want to be, where like a lot of my life is just for me and not for
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So anyway, she is our femme fatale of the
yeah,
week.
reminds
Again,
me, I'm gonna update that in the Discord. Which
yeah,
also reminds me, if you're not already, go join our socials. The Discord link is in there. Oh, I never updated it from last week either.
you did it.
That sucks.
Shame on you.
But yeah, join us on Discord. We're in there all the time.
We are.
We are like literally all the
I'm
time.
going to be in there after the show playing Genshin.
Yes, same. Same.
Um,
Because
so you can
forget
come hang
my
out with us there. We have a
See.
ton of different channels. We have, like, obviously our general chat. We have what we call Grown Up Juice, which is where we all show what we're drinking on any particular day. We showcase
Mhm.
whatever food we've made. We
Nips out
have
for the lady, or tits
sport-specific
out for the lady.
ones.
Sorry.
We've got Tates Out for the ladies. We have
For those with
memes,
discerning
which gets a lot of
tastes.
use. We
Would
have a music one. It's a
Yeah.
lot. We have a lot of fun.
we do. We have a lot. We have a lot of different channels, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like
It is.
we come and hang out there. So
Real quick.
Yeah.
As of this year, I don't know if you guys knew or not, but Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader are together.
really,
Yeah.
That's an interesting age difference.
I love Bill Hader, though. Like, I
I
could
do
I
see
do love
too.
her
Bill
with
Hader.
her
I can't get
personality
out of
being
it.
drawn to him.
Right.
Because they're
Absolutely.
Oh,
both that
absolutely.
brand of, like, awkward weird.
Yes.
Right.
He is
Interesting.
way outside of his weight class, though.
Right. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Very much
Because
so.
Bill Hader, like, he's not ugly, but he's just an average-looking dude, and Anna Kendrick in another life is a model.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, very much so. But yeah, that is a big
Also,
age difference between the two of them, which, hey, if it works for you, it works for you. So
there's also a big age difference between what is it, Florence Pugh and Zach Braff. That one surprised me.
Yes.
I do love Zach Braff, though. I'm a huge Scrubs fan.
Oh my God, Scrubs is
such a good
so
show.
You said
good.
Zach Braff,
Yeah.
and I thought the Wolfpack guy from The Hangover, but that's a different
No.
Zach.
That's Zach Galifianakis.
Galifianakis.
Who's also phenomenal.
No, I'm talking about Zach Braff
Yeah.
from Scrubs.
You know what? Fuck Zach Braff. I mean, I love you, but fuck Zach Braff. Zach Galifianakis, come hang out on the show.
Right.
No, Zach Braff come hang out on the show. They have their own podcast.
They
they?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They watch episodes of Scrubs and discuss what happened behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. Because him and I keep wanting to call him Turk, but I know that's not his name.
Sorry. I just did the math. It's only 7 years age difference between Bill and Anna, so that's not bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
Bill
was
10
just
born-
years
I'm
older
sorry.
than she looks because magic.
Yeah.
Right. She's a year
because
older than
genetics
I
aren't
am.
fair.
So
Interesting.
And that woman has looked like she's been in her 20s for the last 20 years.
20 years,
absolutely. Absolutely. And he
Because
was
as a
born in
teenager,
78.
she
Completely
like
unfair.
came into her own, and then she looked like she was like 22, and then she's just kind of looked 22 for the last 2 decades.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Bitch.
Right?
Exactly.
Agreed.
How dare you? Oh wait. They are no longer together.
Who?
Bill and Anna.
Oh, they broke up already?
As of
In the 5 minutes since we
June
brought it up.
29th.
Oh, so it's recent.
But they were together like 2 years, which I
Wow.
did not know,
I did not either.
according to People magazine. But yeah,
Wow.
she's an infant. She doesn't age. It must be
No.
like blood magic or something.
She has a servant
100%.
fill the tub with the blood of 17 virgins every night. She finds them playing WoW.
Yeah.
Anywho, so that's sad to hear that they broke up, but
Yeah.
sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had no idea that they had been together for 2 years. Hey Kate, welcome.
Okay.
You heard what, Kate?
Hey, I heard that, Dave.
The blood magic thing.
17 virgins from WoW.
Oh,
She heard you
fair.
shitting on WoW and got upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does shit.
But thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know
Absolutely.
we had a lot of fun personally,
did.
so I hope you all also had a lot of fun.
Always.
As a reminder, we're here usually at 5 Eastern on most Tuesdays, but like
Sometimes we're a
sometimes
little late.
shit happens.
We're a little
You know what I mean?
Hey,
flexible.
People,
no, I'm
and
gonna own this. I had my first physical therapy appointment today, and I came home and needed a nap. And then Danger called me and woke me up 45 minutes before the show, and then I promptly fell the fuck back asleep. And she called me again 7 minutes after we were supposed to start, and I answered the phone, and she's like, "Are you awake?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. You just called me." And she's like, "Yeah, like
45
45
minutes
minutes ago. And I'm like, oh, mistakes have been made. I'll be right there.
It happens. It
But
happens.
it happens. It happens to all of us. So no
Right.
worries. Again, we're just here for a good time. So
Absolutely.
come
So
join
we
us
are
on
fluid on the start
Tuesdays.
time, but
Yeah, sometimes it's a little fluid. The boys are usually a lot better with their 6 p.m. start time for their Wednesday show, less than normal,
right.
which features Dave and Chris and various assorted guests. And then on Thursday, again, sometimes we get a little fluid with the Thursday night community game night stream just because we're waiting for enough people to actually be available. Because again, that's sometimes an assorted guest kind of a situation.
Right.
So that is usually at 8:30 Eastern on Thursdays, and we have a great time playing all kinds of games. And we're always looking for suggestions for new ones that are easy and community based. So if you have anything, drop it in our Discord, and we'll look into it for the next Thursday night stream. We're happy to do that.
And if you want to see us play Kukuro on Thursday, send me like $15 and I can make that happen.
Kukuro was a lot of fun. And it's on sale. It's a good like stream chat game that we're looking at. Just one of us has to buy it, but you know, money is a thing. So if nothing else, my next payday I'll pick it up. But or send the money to Dave. I think he might have to buy it. Because of projecting.
Oh, yeah, no, that might be too much lag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a fun time. There's like multiple mini games in there. The quarantine one I think was my favorite. And the plants one was really fun. Where you play like, and a lot of them like you're playing against the streamer, so it's fun. But yes. And if you have any other suggestions of good like community games, you know, we do a lot of like What the Dub, Use Your Words, Jackbox. I'm missing the other one that we play. Be Funny Now. Thank you. I wanted to say Joke Boat because it's so much like Joke Boat
so much similar, yeah.
Jackbox. But yeah, if you ever have ideas of other community games or things you want to play, just shoot us a message. You know, come bug us in Discord.
Also,
you're not
there are a
bugging us
couple
ever
new
in Discord.
games coming to Community Game Night. Multiverses launched and is free on the Epic Game Store. I believe it's also available on mobile devices, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that down on a quote right now. Where's my pen?
There's Brawlhalla, which we're probably gonna start playing a little bit of. It's
stuck at that game.
It's a platform fighter. It's fun to screw around in. Multiverses is the same kind of game.
Mash buttons. Yeah. I mash buttons in Brawlhalla and hope for the best. Usually am the first one to die. But that's okay. And that's one that's good on mobile as well, if I remember correctly.
That's on everything and it's free.
Yeah. I know Matt has it on his Switch.
I have it on my Switch, my PC, and my Xbox.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's definitely a fun one. But yeah, like we said, if you have ideas, or Tabletop Simulator, you know, we could play games on that too. Those kind of things. The only thing we don't play on stream is Cards Against Humanity because we all have a sixth sense of humor, and it's a little
Dave
bit
gets in trouble because he leaves women crying in their cubicle.
Yep.
That's going to become lore. That's going to become LGM
that
lore.
Is going to become, yeah, for sure.
Because Dave was hanging out with Michael, that's in the cube around the corner. The HR show. That was the HR show. Somewhere I have a post-it note written down with like starting the lore of LTN and just.
Oh no, I'm actually working on that right now.
Yeah.
I'm developing departments and stuff for a new. It's either going to be a new segment on Less Than Normal or like YouTube shorts. It's called,
nice.
It's called Spilled Tea. And it's going to be Dave telling you the dark, dirty secrets about the LPN staffers.
I have no secrets.
Never.
Well, I'm talking about the ones I'm making up.
But also, we should do that again another week because I had so much fun when we played
game was a lot
questions
of fun.
and comments from HR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
I'll start working on another one.
We'll add that to the rotation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We should do that.
And yeah, on that note too, if you have ideas for games, Dee and I can play on stream with you guys, or you know, against each other. Ideas for trivia, things you want us to debate about or
Any and
whatever.
all of it.
Throw that out.
Yeah.
Clips. Don't forget to clip funny things that you find.
Yep.
All that
We're all
jazz.
about community engagement here, for sure.
Absolutely. Do our jobs for us. No, not really. But like
Well,
definitely
I mean,
help
you
us.
could.
You could, but
We wouldn't say no.
I'm totally just kidding because
I am.
I like my job here. I
I
like
very much
being
like
on
my
the
job.
show. So please don't
Agreed.
take that away from me. I'll be very sad.
Not
But
yet.
no, like the community engagement helps us know what you guys want to see and what you think is funny and
Yeah.
all of that. So we want to make sure
If you
it's
think any of it is funny.
right. If you think it's dumb, just don't tell us because we find it
Yeah,
funny.
keep that to
So,
yourself, asshole.
but
I disagree
also,
with the girls. Constructive criticism is always welcome. That's one of the best
correct.
ways to improve.
Yeah, obviously, but I'm being funny, Dave. Let me be funny in peace.
Be funny
Okay?
now.
Be funny
Be funny
now.
now.
Also, please don't forget, if you have Amazon Prime, you do get a free sub. You don't have to use it here on LTN. We do appreciate it if you
I love
do,
it.
but again, you don't have to, but use it on somebody because otherwise it goes to waste.
Yeah.
You never know, like that could change somebody's life, mentality, whatever.
Hey,
So
Hey,
make sure you use it.
when
Somebody.
does your
What?
Prime sub come available?
I don't know. When does it? I should
I
check
don't
that
know.
out. And I
Because
just
you're not
should.
did, like-
currently subscribed, and I see you have Prime.
Oh, am I not? Then it must be available.
It doesn't like renew with Prime, so you do have to come
You have
in
to do it automatically.
and resub every month with Prime, which is like it's kind of a nice feature because then you can
It is.
share the wealth.
Weirdly, it says
Okay.
mine doesn't become available until August 27th.
Oh.
But this is the only channel I would have spent a Prime sub on.
Weird.
Unless you did it on my channel. But I don't think you've even followed my channel.
I did. I did spend it on your channel.
Did you?
Yes, because you're like, please, I need one more. I'm like this
No.
close.
Oh,
Chris.
it was Chris's.
It was Chris's.
Yeah.
Was it Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that
All
was
right, so
that
Chris
night that
has
we were
mine
trying
for
to-
this one.
Um,
Otherwise, I'd demonstrate it for you live on stream here.
right. But
But I
yeah, just
can't,
don't
'cause
forget
Chris
about
does
that. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw, hit that follow button, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's free.
And play
It
Breath
is
of the
free.
Waifu. It's also great.
Breath of the Wild.
I think he mentioned it back.
That
Yeah.
is what I
We'll
meant.
go with it.
That is one of the names the Genshin community calls the game because it is so similar to Breath of the Wild.
Good to know.
And there are definitely waifus in it.
There are
for
lots
sure.
of waifus. And they're so cute.
Y'all are
Dave and
crazy.
his waifus.
Uh,
All right. Well, this
Yes.
has been fun.
it has been fun, but now it's time for it to end, and we
Yeah.
still don't have an
Like all
outro.
good things. Nope.
So peace out.